Warning. Warning.
Okay, let's run.
Hey, I'm Largo. This is the lair. That's Will. That's the workshop. And we put out the call. We said, let's hang. Let's do a lounge. We haven't done a lounge in a while. And we got a couple crazy cats that said, yeah, I got nothing better to do. So let's run that beautiful bean footage and get these guys in. You can always tell when I've got too much time on my hands because the promos get longer and longer.
Doing great.
What's up, boys?
Free hotcakes.
It's good to see everybody.
Hello, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Badger.
Hey, Zazel in the house.
Slaughterhouse. Hello.
Good to see you.
And our buddy Ian is probably going to bed by now because it's late in his neck of the woods. Roll Keeper, good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for the turnout. I was very pleased. Hey, we were just talking to that nice fellow.
Yep.
Just, everybody's got their holiday stuff going. So we wanted to just touch base and, everybody's doing these are my top 10 for last year. It's like, no. We're not doing that. We're going to talk about next year. We've got our eyes on the future. We're not looking back. So we're going to see some predictions and some hot takes on what's coming in 2024. Maybe. Or we might just, wax eloquently about who knows what. And then Scuba showed up.
What's up, dude?
Hey, it's Scuba.
Hey, buddy.
What's up,
It's been too long. How are you guys?
Man, I haven't
Swell.
seen you in forever.
I know.
We really should make time for each other.
Yeah, we should.
LaserPants.
Hey, Ryan. How are
Yeah,
you?
buddy.
Hello?
Good to see
Now
you.
it's a spectacular.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, I
You've all
thought you
been
were-
French fried.
I predict I'll be
yeah.
broke.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff reaching for our wallets in the coming months, so we'll definitely have to see where that goes. But hey, great to see you, Ryan. I thought you'd be at work, but I'm glad you made it because you're a man
muted,
about
Ryan.
town.
You fucking muted, Ryan.
That button. That button.
Better? Can you
Now
hear
you're
me?
good.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
We can.
There we go.
That was weird. I didn't hit anything.
I like that Oz is center square.
He's our Paul
Look
Lynn
nice.
tonight.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think having a luscious beard is part of center square prerequisite. So good.
It is. It's part of it. You got to have that majestic, beautiful, flowing beard. Since I can't grow anything up here, I got to have it somewhere.
Whatever works.
Toy Lord.
no,
I'll
no,
take
no,
that.
no,
I'm
rub it in.
usually called something else. A Lord of something.
Yes. We are a cornucopia tonight, gents. That's a big word. That's fancy.
It's a plethora.
Oh.
Are we having
Would
the
you say I have a plethora?
It's a story. Oh,
Now would be a good time to do
Yes.
So that makes Oz Alice then, huh?
Yeah.
You know what?
He's just going.
Murmuring.
Alice was the glue that kept that weird bunch together. So.
Scuba's Mrs. Brady. Yeah, buddy.
So, trying to create a segue out of that is impossible. I'm just going to keep rolling. With all plastic goodness being thrown our way, and delays and New Year's and whatnot, and excuses aside, what are you guys getting excited about? Anything that is going to be hitting your piles of loot, or what other plans you have that you're just like chomping at the bit for?
Robo
I got
Skull Mark II.
Oh yeah,
Nice
How about
choice.
that?
Nice
Yeah.
choice.
Robo Skull Mark III.
Oh,
That one. Pete.
Potato skull.
Oh, you always get one up me.
Put some
Son
TIE
of a-
fighter wings in like a big potato.
Mm.
I was really looking forward to the Robo Skull Mark II. And then as they started rolling out more and more figures, I'm actually more excited for the figures than I am for the vehicles.
yeah. The little what do they call them?
Feeling
The wolf
okay? You look a
pilot
little,
guys or whatever.
might be a little flush.
Who? Me?
Just giving you shit.
Freaking Robo Skull.
I don't know
man.
if
like
Chad has room
dollies.
for a Robo Skull.
That's true.
I'll make room. It's cool. Yeah, we'll get there.
Add on to the garage.
We'll squeeze.
I was
it
a
in.
latecomer to the Palatoy goodies until I started watching Tony and Analog and realized
Same.
there's like a whole new world. As a kid, I was in Scotland for a minute and I saw stuff like that on the shelf, but it
Mhm.
wasn't, I wasn't
Yeah.
into it at the time.
Now I'm like, you got some crack?
I know. Plastic crap. Ryan, were there any, vintage goodies that came into your radar late in life that you didn't know about until you started getting into this nutty collecting stuff?
So it's Guatemalan gremlins.
I know it.
Are you hearing me, Jim?
I'm hearing you.
No,
Are,
but
are you picking up what I'm laying down?
it's it's that playset that Scuba found at Joe Fest. That
Rambo.
that Rambo one.
Rambo
Oh,
Strike.
okay.
Oh man, yeah.
Ooh, that's a
Yes.
good one.
And it's
Yes.
That's a good one.
Savage
do
Strike
want-
Headquarters.
How many of you guys were into the Rambo stuff back in the 80s? You were, yeah, for sure.
Mm-mm.
Only
Got a like.
I was
two
only an admirer
vintage
of it.
figures now. but-
I was more of a Chuck Norris Karate Commandos guy.
Ooh,
Nice.
yeah.
I started
I
on
was a
that.
big- Dude, I
That's a Coke or Pepsi thing right there. Yeah.
was a Chuck Norris freaking hardcore D rider when I was a kid, man.
Nice.
It was.
I just got the Corvette like last
Oh
month.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dude, Dude, my dad had my dad was an engineer out in construction, and he had a Ram Charger, real similar to that one in Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yeah.
And I asked him one night, we were laying in bed after we went and saw that movie, and I said, "Can we bury that in the backyard and try that?" And he's like, "Absolutely not. There's no way we're doing that."
Like, please.
But I saw this movie, and there's this guy, and
Fucking Chuck
That was
Norris,
like
man.
that was the go-to, man. You had to have a Corvette because Face had the Corvette. You had the Big Jim Wolfpack. He had the Corvette.
Yep.
Gotta have the Corvette was the thing, man.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, Big Jim only had a Corvette because Barbie did. That's where
Well,
Big Jim got all of his.
Yeah.
True.
I only had
That's
a
where
Hot Wheels
He-Man got all
Corvette.
the animals from.
And in
Big
the
Jim.
Galoob
Yeah.
A-Team,
Yeah.
Spaceman had his Corvette too.
Yep.
That's right. That's a sweet.
Actually.
As the proud owner of a howling mad Murdoch jet, you lucky guy, you. Those are hard to find.
Yeah. And it's
Chad's
hanging on
gonna-
the wall. It's just at like my 2:00 right off my peripheral. And every time I look at it, I'm like, you better not fall.
Oh,
Yeah, because there'll be nothing left.
Dust. Yeah. Dust.
And
That's
Chad's helping me
Bionic
complete
Woman.
mine.
Yep. I
with
am.
The,
I
front
forgot
landing
about
gear.
that.
Very
But yeah,
nice.
Bionic Woman had a vet too. Yeah, we love the old Microman and Micro. We'll get into all of that stuff, but no, we're not looking back. We're going forward. No
Hey,
vintage
Gucci.
right now.
Yeah. that's
To
what
the
you keep
future.
saying.
That's why I'm the ghost of Christmas
Indeed.
future.
I'm running on 88 miles an hour just so I can make it there.
Whoa.
Hey, there we go.
We got micro compressed. All right, I'll throw this up and get a soup starter, and then we'll just let it roll. So, hot genres for 2024. We've got a lot of stuff coming, whether it be fantasy, sci-fi, military, superhero, horror, or any mashup of any of those whatsoever. So, any thoughts?
Sword and sorcery, I think, is going to be big with Savage Crucible coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those
that's
figures
cool.
look awesome.
You got more and more Mythic Legions rolling down the way. You've got, of course, Savage Crucible, and then, of course, AWOC's kind of fitting in that. But AWOC gets a little bit more sci-fi from here on out.
Mhm.
And
I kind of put them
Armies
under
of Ashmore
fantasy
hits.
because of the anthropomorphic stuff. But you're right; they got a good sci-fi story going too.
There's
So,
all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
all
if you
those
get into
animals
their
coming out
comics
from
and stuff.
Memory Toys, all those bears and stuff, the panda bears.
Oh,
all
yeah.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Those are all
War
Yep.
Bears.
sword and sorcery stuff. Those are going to be huge.
Hey, Pete.
Armies of Ashmore. It's
Am I-
another
am
big
I
one.
Greg
Big
Brady now?
dinos.
Yes, you are.
I hope Nika continues with their Dungeons and Dragons line because I really like that. I got all those figures, and I think they're really well done. They're a little. I wouldn't want to drop one, because there's so many little parts that would break. But I really enjoyed what Nika was doing this year with those, and I know they've got the Elkhorn coming, and I know they announced I think one more after that maybe.
Mhm.
But I would really like to see them carry the baton, and then you've also got Super 7 has the Dungeons and Dragons line, which I don't know about that, and Hasbro, of course, who knows what they're doing.
I was going to say
Hasbro's
with
done with theirs.
Hasbro's D&D output, I'm kind of wishing NECA had gotten those also. Because I love those characters.
I know,
Those
me
are
too.
Such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I got that for $15. I'm just saying.
That
Yeah.
out there sale.
You
That
got
was a
the,
good one.
did you get it off Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I almost got it. I was like, damn, I wouldn't mind having one of those.
I'm an old school
Sure,
D&D
sure,
fan,
yeah.
and I love owl bears. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just a crazy, stupid creature that I absolutely adore.
Right on, man.
They're cool. Well, I kind of just threw up some stuff just as soup starter, but you guys are, leagues ahead of me on that. Mythic Legions is always top of the charts when it comes to fantasy.
Right.
We've got a lot of stuff coming from Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Savage Crucible is on the horizon. Everything we've seen looks groovy. Is Masters going to hang on in 2024? I mean, they've talked about stuff, but is it
Yeah,
played
got
out?
the Snake Man Castle coming.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
For
What do you
me,
guys
mean,
think about the animated line? I
That's
adore replacing Origins. I didn't like that. I really loved Origins. I bought almost all of them
Mhm,
that I
me
could
too.
find. They had a terrible distribution model, but
See, I'm the
I really loved
opposite. I
Origins.
missed Origins, so it's like when I saw the animated line, I was like, "Oh boy, this is like I'm
Yeah,
at least
pick 'em up.
into those first ones they've revealed." I don't know past that, but I won't
I
say
don't-
no necessarily.
I'm excited,
mean,
but I don't understand the scale because they're slightly bigger than the Origins in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But
It's same scale, but they're modeled off the cartoons, which are a little bit leaner, so they changed the buck style.
yeah,
So with that, they've become a little bit taller, and even the Origins were a little bit taller than the original vintage.
yeah, correct, yeah. I just
Well,
like
they weren't
Origins.
crouched. You know, they
Right.
could actually move their knees. That
Yeah.
was
They could
helpful.
straighten their legs. They
I
had
wasn't a huge fur loincloth fan back in the day. I just wanted the core characters. So I got the Masterverse, the He-Man, Tila, Orko. I just got that, the crew. And
bought them all.
I'm happy.
Now, are
The
they
fur
gonna?
loincloth is amazing. I'm wearing one now. And,
Yeah.
I was
really-
about to say, like,
I think that's-
honestly, as you get older,
Kind of
the
swampy in
loincloth
Florida
is the
for
way
that,
to
ain't it,
go.
Will?
Are your balls swimming down there in that loincloth?
Senor Fuzzy Britches.
So, do you guys know, like, is Origins going to continue on Mattel Creations as a direct-to-consumer through that way, and then the retail is going to be the animated stuff? Or
That's the That's the.
I'm good with that.
The,
I'm
the
good with
full
that.
breakdown is you're going to get Turtles of Grayskull is going to be retailer exclusive for the deluxe figures, but it's going to be available in all retailers for like the regular figures.
Right.
The cartoon figures are going to be available at all retailers. You're going to get the fan favorites, so the re-releases of like She-Ra, King Randor.
Right.
That's going to be all retailers.
Cool.
The finishing of the vintage line is going to be Mattel Creations exclusive
That's
because it's
great.
all it's basically like just new tooling.
Uh-huh.
So they're selling it directly on there. And we're probably going to see it cost a little bit more for each one of those.
Okay.
Then you've got
We'll get
other
more into that later because I want to niggle your brains on that whole
Cost?
idea of a cost subscription service maybe coming back, that kind of stuff.
Right.
My asshole is raw from all the stuff, price increases from top to bottom, man. So it's not going to bother me too much.
Yeah, some of us remember the fun days of Matty Collector and the G.I. Joe Collectors Club, and
Shit.
I don't want to go back to that.
No.
Anyway, sci-fi. We've got Cosmic Legions really hitting it hard. Godzilla is
Yeah.
back with the -1 movie kicking some booty.
Did you guys see that movie?
Oh, it was the best
yeah,
Godzilla movie
no,
we've
but
ever
I-
seen.
Hell yes.
Holy
That's-
shit.
That's what I'm getting from everybody.
Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I came out of that
I-
movie I was blown away.
Not only like best Godzilla, but probably one of the best movies of the year.
100%.
Can't wait
So
to see
good.
it.
$15 million. Shoestring
Yeah.
budget.
Zero bullshit, too.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Zero
I
bullshit.
was going to say
in that
you've
movie.
got Disney and Marvel with movies out right now, and Godzilla just said, "Hold my beer."
Hey,
Oh.
Chad. Chad,
Stopped
when
him
you
like
saw
Tokyo.
him detonate his super nuclear death breath, did you just instantly shit your pants?
Yeah.
I was sitting there at the back of the theater. There's 7 of us in there. I went on my birthday last Tuesday, and all I said to myself was, "God damn!"
And that first roar, it's the
Hey,
classic
spoilers,
roar.
guys. I haven't had time to see it yet.
Yeah, we haven't all seen
Oh,
this.
we're not going to spoil it. I'm just saying, when you see
Oh.
that first detonation,
It's
you're like, "Holy shit."
actually. You're fine.
Yeah.
Pretty much been in the woods for the
You're
last week. I haven't seen
guaranteed.
shit.
Yeah, it's spoiler free. A building is going to get flattened. Something is going to get nuked.
Wait, what?
There will
Someone
be
will go
some
like this.
glowy stuff.
It was,
I expected all that stuff, Jim, but I was really surprised when the Megazord showed up at the end. Like Godzilla.
Son of a and the duet with
That whole crossover.
That was beautiful.
you can't say that one.
Lord,
It was a dream come true.
indeed.
Oh,
Who
man.
knew that Godzilla had such a tremendous singing voice?
Yeah, Gojitron saying Godzilla
Spot on,
making
Goji.
Disney look
Yeah.
like chumps gives me a warm
Oh, I gotta
feeling.
say,
yeah.
Do any
like
of you
that
guys
should be a
get the-
no contest in general for Godzilla versus the House of Mouse. I mean, it's a fucking mouse.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's like Godzilla versus Bambi. No,
You know,
never
Yeah.
know.
a lot of this talk can kind of be tied into other themes because when we're going to talk about Star Wars at some point, we're going to talk about Legends, all of that stuff because they're partner brands, Hasbro, they don't have creatives making the design choices. They're being
Not at
told
all.
this is what you have to make. Rose
Yep.
Tico, Admiral Holdo, shit that nobody wants. Then you got the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean,
Ugh.
I've said it's been dead since Endgame. It
I'm
should have just
done.
freaking ended. But we got to make that money, son.
We do
But
have
at
to
the same
thank
time, like,
those
they're being
those
told, you
those
have
Star
to make
Wars
these
sequels.
Eternals figures. Nobody wants them.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants them.
We did get a great meme though, because for a very low price, you could give someone a dozen roses. Just go get those rose tickles, wrap them up.
At Ollie's,
Boom.
they're still there.
Just ask
At
Jeff
Ollie's.
Hicks. He just
And
stacks
the
them all up.
Eternals.
Takes them over.
They're terrible.
There are going to be a lot of happy
Um,
kids from Toys for Tots with the full wave of the Eternals
Oh.
saying, "What the hell
They're
is
not going to
this?"
be happy. Even
They're
they
gonna-
know that.
Here's your Ray Skywalker. Or
Be like, can I get
Yeah.
socks?
That's funny.
There are a couple in here that are not really on everybody's radar. From the Cell, RoboForce and Biker Mice from
Right.
Mars. making a
Yeah.
couple.
That whole nacelle connected universe thing they're doing, it's pretty awesome.
They're trying, man. They've got a cartoon in the works.
This
I'm
guy?
hoping, yeah, that guy. I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
Wrecker. I've got what did they call him? It
Chad,
used to
don't
be
show your
Max
dangling
Steel.
bits.
Hey, Jim, where
Hey, baby.
what's up? Those
Sir?
Rated NC-17.
Are they doing
where
Power
did you
Lords
find
too? Are they
those?
bringing Power Lords back?
They might. I think that was rumored.
The
Right now,
nacelle
they're
Nacelle
doing-
only has RoboForce, Biker Mice, and Sectars.
Sectars.
I thought
Sectars
the
is the other
Sectars
big
figures were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But somebody did show off some Power Lords coming. I
Yeah.
forget
Yeah, I can't
somebody
remember who that was. I
Is that
thought it was
Nacelle,
there.
Ryan?
Cell?
nacelle.
Well, that was
Do they have
originally.
it, Ryan?
Yeah, I was going to say Revell. I don't know who owns Revell anymore.
Well, Four Horsemen did those really cool little 3 3/4 ones, but that was a long time ago.
Yep.
They've got
there's some
homages to
interesting
that.
ideas there.
The Power Lords line was part of Nacelle's New York Comic Con presentation in 2021. So they've been working on them.
Yikes.
Ryan knows his stuff. Boy.
I was at the panel. That's the only reason why I know. I have no interest in Power Lords. Huh?
Yell at me.
Hey,
I think we need those we need those sexy glasses, Ryan. You need to be able to pull actually and push the glasses out.
Those are great.
When you-
We
there
might
you
need to
go.
separate
Yeah,
those.
oh, God, no.
all
That's
right.
the fact checker extraordinaire right there.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Babies.
I've got high hopes for Nacelle. It's there you go. It's been rough on them. The RoboForce did not just jump off the shelves when it came out. They're not bad figures. They're really heavy. You could use them as a home defense device.
They're great. sculpts. They have really good paint apps and washes and
Yeah.
tampos. Like the detail on these are amazing. There's a couple other characters that I probably would have rather seen out of the gate that are a little more popular. But
At least 100. You got to have a bad guy.
I took my ones and painted them up for my G.I. Joe
Nice.
villains.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
yeah, Wrecker's hanging out in the back of my 93 my 92 headquarters. He's like, "What's up?" Just chilling
Yeah,
there.
Jeff is a master of repurposing vintage stuff for his GI Joe photo stories. I'm very impressed. He comes up with some obscure pieces, and it's
I'm a
just
toy
like,
gypsy.
yeah, it's like, where did you find that? It's like, yeah.
Magique.
But I hope Nacelle pulls it off. I think if they had had the cartoon tie-in when the toys launched, it would have helped. But it's been in development.
What's
when that
the
comes out,
Robo
hopefully,
price point?
Hmm?
What was the Robo price point?
I want to say about 50-ish. They're a little spendy,
A little spin.
maybe
Yeah, they
45.
were a little pricey.
But again,
Yeah.
small production run. So
Sure.
that's the first of a lot of these boutiques is,
Yeah.
they're putting out good stuff, but the price point has got to be high for them to cover just making it and getting it in and out of a factory. So
And I don't think a lot of people realized how big those were.
They look
I
big.
didn't realize how big they were until I saw them in person. I think
That's
it
what
was
she
Joker.
said. That's what she said.
Hey,
How much? How much
Right.
does that
Hey,
thing
how's it
weigh?
going, man? Thanks
Okay,
for
that
the,
was weird. My
feedback.
wife echoed. That's what she said. That was weird.
Bravo.
she actually said it. Indeed.
Well done.
Moving right along. Military.
Oh man, I
Military.
can't wait to talk about
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm an action force shill. And
Me
I like
too.
Joe. You can like both, damn it.
No,
but
you
I'm
can't.
really
you
digging the
no,
Evil Force stuff.
no.
And hopefully, Marauders will get that Vietnam line out eventually. That's anticipated. So, what are you guys' thoughts on military guys? Anything groovy for 24 you're looking forward to?
I don't know.
I mean,
The
the
thing I'm
obvious
looking
is
forward
fine.
to is Monster Force.
We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I think Monster Force is going to kill
Which
it, man.
Monster
That
Force,
looks
though?
beautiful.
Right? 'Cause
Both.
There's
Yeah.
the 6-inch, and then there's the 4-inch not Red Shadows one.
But they're not.
I'm
They're
looking
not
for
doing
both.
the whole line in 4-inch, right? Just a couple core characters. It's
Yeah.
not the complete line. To get everything, you have to get the 6-inch.
The
Yeah.
stuff that's in 4-inch was shown first, and it's just like, hey, this guy is not Baron Ironblood; he's a wolf man. But this other
Yeah.
guy has Baron Ironblood's head, so get them both and swap their heads, which
Yeah.
I thought was a brilliant idea.
Personally,
much so.
I'm most looking forward to Delta 17, which is coming early
Yep.
next year.
Mm-hmm.
I just got
Because
these bad boys.
yes, and
Oh,
Strike
wow.
Force
Is that
Alpha.
Strike
Those
Force
are
Alpha?
coming
There
out
we go.
as soon
Wow.
as they're available. I'm going
Those
to
are
order
cool.
a couple of them, but I like the 118.
Oh yeah.
I would like to get the
We'll
Bullet
talk about
Man
that.
Strike Force Alpha.
Yeah. So we got, we'll get back to the super guys and the horror guys. I kind of threw Monster Force more into horror because it's more of a mashup. But
Yeah.
let me slide through here and get to this because we're kind of there. Boom. O-ring Renaissance says.
Are we
our
going to
buddy
go back
Ken
to the
likes
Joe
what?
shit at some point?
Yes. Yes, we
Okay,
will.
just okay.
I can go forwards or backwards. I am bilingual.
Yeah,
But,
I know you go both ways. It's cool.
Oh, Dios mío.
Pitcher and a catcher.
I was in the Navy. What can I say?
But how does he do them both at the same time? That's the thing that always gets me.
Whoa.
It's like the skier. Right?
What are you doing, Chad? What the hell is that?
Skier.
Yeah, that's a skier.
You know.
Yes.
That's
Well,
why
that's
he used
what
to
you know in
be
your friggin' glasses.
articulated, Chad.
That's not the slalom.
That looked
But,
like something I watched last week at a cabin.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This one time at
Whoa.
band camp.
What'd y'all
Oh,
do
it-
at the cabin? Whoa.
Some piece
Well,
of
actually,
Strike Force
maybe I
Alpha
don't
is-
want to know.
is-
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Strike Force Alpha is out. It's getting into people's hot little hands. It's groovy. We're liking what we're seeing. Delta 17 is coming very, very soon.
Very
it's
soon.
very soon. I don't have an exact drop date, but we're going to have Ken and Steve on Wilhelm's show. First part of January.
January
to talk
7th.
about that.
Wow.
January
cool.
7th. Yeah,
Awesome.
Sunday, January
Kick off
7th
the
with
new year.
big news. Yeah, they're going to lay it all out for us. So it's going to be awesome.
Sweet.
I'm excited with a lot of these new lines because they're giving us the full meal deal. They're giving us comic book, backstory, good file cards with actual stuff and not just the same 2 lines repeated in 6 languages.
Mhm.
They're doing some cool stuff here. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'm
they're pulling
liking
at yeah, they're pulling at
New
those
IPs
heartstrings.
is it, right? Like nostalgia only can get you so far. I'm tired of buying the same 8, 9 figures, and then we're gonna relaunch it 2 to 3 years, the same 8 or 9 figures. It's nice to get something
You need 37
new.
Boba Fett's.
You know what?
Look, let's not talk about my Boba Fett addiction, okay?
A Boba Fetish.
You know what I like about it all right now?
Okay, but to be fair, isn't there a little nostalgia in this and the file cards because it's like it's almost the
Sure,
same thing of the GI Joes and
Oh, it's
Action
nostalgia.
Force
Definitely is.
too.
It's
Nostalgia
the
driven
next
for sure.
steps.
Got
It's
a
the
touch of
evolution of it.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Action
mean,
Force
there's
did in the 6-inch line. It's the spiritual successor. It's not just
Right.
redoing the same characters over and over again. It's like it's harkening back to what we remember and love, but it's providing something new and
Mhm.
giving us something new to kind of consume, like the Action Force comics and all that. So that's what
Yeah,
I
mean it's
you know.
it's kind of like when my parents were, I remember Lone Ranger and Flash Gordon were the 2 big ones when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was my parents' absolute best loves, but it was like it was rebranded for me in 78, 79. And I'm like, ooh, this is kind of cool. And I still love that stuff. But it's
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Don't
but
they
it's
have
like,
a filmation cartoon of the Lone Ranger too?
Oh, look-
that?
yeah, Filmation cartoon of Lone Ranger and Filmation
Yeah.
of Flash Gordon. I love those 2 cartoons.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
I absolutely love them.
Something really cool about this coming out, these O-ring figures, is specifically, and maybe some of the 112 stuff, is that we're all really lucky nowadays to have all the scales be essentially the same, which we never had that when we were kids in the 80s and late 70s.
Yeah.
Everything was different scales. Like Mask was different than G.I. Joe. Eagle Force was different than whatever. Now you've got all these basically compatible scales, which is really cool if you're a customizer, obviously. But what I really like about the O-Ring launch right now is you've got a few different companies now doing O-Rings. And now you're going to have a legit competition, kind of like you have between Action Force and G.I. Joe Classified. But you're going to have a legit competition between Super 7, whatever you think about them doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. But you're going to have Super 7 doing O-Rings. You're going to have, and these other two brands, you know, you're going to have a legit competition for, you know, buyers. And that's going to be really cool because I think it's going to make the brands really strive to be better.
Yeah. I don't think anyone could argue that the existence of Action Force made Classified better. I don't think
sure.
Picture a world where Action Force didn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you think we would have the volume of characters or, you know, the innovations or the...
You wouldn't even have a blast effect or a removable magazine.
No, you're absolutely right.
I agree.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you that they watch and see what Bobby does all the time when he does his little videos and stuff. I know they're watching.
It kind of seems obvious when Action Force announces one thing in development, and then we see these the Hasbro people put out something very similar.
It is funny to watch their.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just saying this
kind of
anniversary figure is like borrow my. You can borrow my homework, but don't make it look too much like mine.
Yeah,
Ryan,
Ryan, you're kind of you're the young whippersnapper of this group. We're mostly old farts. When you see your, like the Turtles and some of the stuff that came later than some of the vintage stuff we're digging, does it feel weird that it's already in nostalgia territory as it's coming out again and again?
I mean, I go down the toy aisle and I look at Ninja Turtle figures that I remember as a kid, and they're on the shelf again. And I'm not just talking like updates. I mean, they're the same figures.
Yeah.
They have a whole line of turtles on the shelf right now that are like the same.
Yeah. They still come with the weapons on the little plastic sprue, just like the old ones did.
I think so.
Yeah, I bought those for my wife like a year ago.
They're almost like
they're great
recreations. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very much one
really
creation.
How many people are doing Ninja Turtles right now? Nika, Super 7, Playmates.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. And now Mattel with their
everybody.
goofy.
As soon as you become a toy company, you acquire TMNT license.
Sending it out to everyone.
I think that you're going to see a lot of these lines pull away from the lines that are very much hitched to nostalgia. You're going to see even though they're independent creators, but you'll see the Strike Force Alpha, the Delta 19, the Call Sign Longbow, the Operation Recall, especially like Action Force, right? Bobby stuff. You're going to see these lines start to pull away from the G.I. Joe, where it's like, look, here's Hawk and here's Shipwreck, and it's the same figures you had in the early 80s, but look, they're just bigger.
Yeah.
The lore doesn't change. The stories don't evolve. The comics have been going for years and years and years and years. They're on issue 304 right now with Larry Hama still writing it, but it's still the same crap. Snake Eyes and Hawk and Duke and Stalker, even though I love those characters, do something different. I don't want to see a Cobra Flight Pod again. People get all, oh, did you see the Vamp? Yeah, cool. I got 10 of them. I don't care. Give me something different. Don't give me a HasLab Sky Striker. Give me something that's updated. Give me an F-35 because the F-14 has been out of the Navy's inventory for how long? But the Sky Striker is iconic. Yeah, so are other planes. Get over it.
Plus, even Click
Kurt
and
said
Play
you had to
gave
blow
us
it up.
They gave us an F-18 that's compatible. It's like if Click and Play can do it, why can't the big guys?
They're basically Hasbro's basically a cover band.
Yep.
Playing the same old tunes.
They're a cover band of themselves.
And they're afraid to record any new songs because they're afraid they might suck.
Right. And that's the thing. Not only are they a cover band, but instead of doing like Van Halen, they're covering Van Hagar. It's easier to sing.
Wow, that's
rock. They're like, oh, well, we're going to lean into this just for money, but we don't want to lean into it too hard. We're going to call them blasters because we don't like that it's a military toy.
Oh, I know.
It's a daring, highly trained special mission force that can do anything. We just want money.
And at the same time,
we don't really believe in this line. there's no media to accompany it because we did that shitty Snake Eyes movie that bombed. We don't want to do a new cartoon. We don't want to do a TV show. We're just going to be Van Hagar.
Let's be fair, though, Chad. When they do try to do real-world weapons, we get a shotgun that's breech-loaded and pump action.
Oh, man.
Maybe they should stick with the laser pew-pews. I'm just saying.
Get it.
How about their song? What was that? I can't buy at $39.95.
Yeah.
Prove that.
They need someone on their team that understands the military. Like, even in the slightest, like maybe somebody who went to like basic training and then got kicked out for like failure.
Chad, spear guns are supposed to shoot on an angle underwater.
It's a spear blaster, actually, Steve.
They just laid off. They just laid off like
I've
laid off 1,000 people, so they're probably going to be looking to hire some people. Maybe I don't know.
I've said for a while is like I don't know jack about guns except for what was written on the sides of GI Joe packages. But you know what? I have Google. I can look up this stuff. I mean, if I was working on a military line, I would definitely look up real world guns. Ding. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
one would
work from there.
Big Bacon, they made an F-22, man. They made the Thunderwing.
Yeah.
But,
the Thunderwing was a F-22. You're right.
You know, it's
and they
pretty
made
wild.
The YF-23 as well.
It's pretty wild with Hasbro how like we went through all these different iterations of GI Joe. You went through 64 to 70, then you had the Adventure Team, which is my personal favorite. Then you had Super Joe, which is a blink of an eye. And then we've been on Real American Hero since '82.
Yep,
I'm ready for something new.
And see,
let's move on.
Speaking of Adventure Team, that was my argument. So I've always made the argument. In 1979, when Bob Prupis and Kirk Bazigian and all these guys started Operation Blast Off, they didn't sit around and go, you know what we should do? Get Eagle Eye Joe and Bullet Man and just make them Star Wars sized. Done. Right? We'll just do it lazy.
I would have bought that.
I have a 4-inch Bullet Man and I freaking love it.
I know.
And I have a bunch of 4-inch Adventure Team stuff. Not the point, right?
But you're right.
Something new. If they would have come out of the gate with Classified and said, okay, so we're going to make Falcon the new General Hawk. Snake Eyes is now a moniker. It's not even a person anymore, you know, because Kamakura and all that crap. But we'll still have Snake Eyes. We'll still have Falcon, and then we'll have all new Joes. Maybe we could still have like Destro, you know. Cobra Commander is pretty
new
much
villains would be nice
because Baroness became Cobra Commander. Fred 7 became Cobra Commander. On and on and on. He's can't say he's hooded, right? Because
whoa.
He's he's masked. Anybody could be Cobra. You could make new stuff, but they don't have creative, innovative people anymore. It's just like, what can we dust off and make a couple of bucks? Snake Eyes.
Yeah. I would say
you gotta wonder how much
their
their creative team is throttled though by their corporate nonsense.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you, Ed. I don't know what they're telling those guys.
The line.
Yeah.
If you watch a live stream with those guys, they just sit and look. The two designers look uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like there's someone with a gun pointed at them.
Yeah, exactly.
The big two used to have some great creativity many moons ago, but we're seeing these little guys come up, you know, like the little guys that usually follow the big fish. They're eating. They're coming up and they're doing some cool stuff. Final Faction blew everybody away with a really inexpensive line that was a new IP. Click and Play is putting out kick-ass vehicles and play sets. Their figures aren't great, but it's all compatible with 118.
Yeah.
Chap May has been putting out stuff forever, and now they're putting out their own line with a comic book, with a storyline, with some cool sci-fi. Spin Master.
Will, you're going to get some Chap May in the mail, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I can't wait.
And even Leonard with the core. They may make a comeback. I'm not sure where they are at this moment.
Rick.
I didn't know where to find Leonard at.
Yeah.
It's been difficult.
It's weird. Who knows what happened, you know, and there's so much
distribution.
And we keep hearing it's coming, but we don't know. But yeah, that's why I'm most excited for the Chat Bay, which usually just did generic stuff. They actually, launched their own IP. The stuff looks great. Chad was actually able to find some on the exchange, and he's going to send me a couple. So thank you so much for that, Chad. I can't wait. But
I couldn't believe I found them.
Yeah. Looks awesome. And they even did a commercial. If you watch that commercial, it looks like something that would have came out in the 80s. And it makes me want to, check out that line.
Right on.
Ryan and I are kind of at a disadvantage because there's not a lot of cool third-party 1/12 stuff that really works. There's a bunch of stuff for 118, but if you're a 1/12 main collector, it's like it's slim pickings, buddy.
And here's the
stuff that is
argument
out there is really expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a ton of stuff for 118, and the naysayers and the bros and the kiss asses and all that stuff love to say what 118 scale is dead.
It's dead.
Total crock of shit. 118 is not dead. Just because one company doesn't want to make one IP in 118 anymore, that's a load of crap.
It's funny you
it's
say that,
obvious
Chad.
there's
I just
some-
happen to have a slide just
They
for
have
you.
a slide.
And that one company doesn't really know what they want to do, Chad. So there you go.
Look at that,
actually. Wowzers.
There's a lot of brands here. You know, Marauder's been doing it for a while. Click and Play's been doing it for a while. Haya has been doing it for a while. Joy Toy's been doing it forever. They're just now getting noticed for new IP stuff. Super 7, I'm not crazy about, but they're there and people are buying some of their stuff.
Yeah,
Fresh
they got a
Monkey
shit ton of
and-
IPs.
Yeah, even Boss Fight has been doing some of the classic, like Flash Gordon and the Phantom.
Oh,
So
hey, I like those. I got both of those.
And,
Yeah.
and you could say
There's
what you
stuff
want
out
about
there.
Super 7 doing O-rings. I don't care one way or the other, right? Because we all have our own opinions and like what you like. But Super 7 are going to be the ones to make the Cobra Aspid that nobody ever made. It was in the very first issue of G.I. Joe comics. They're going to be the ones that make the Aspid, and they're going to go, suck it. Now, granted, it might be overpriced, but they're going to make it.
Yeah.
You know they will.
yeah.
You think they'll crowdfund it, or you think they'll just go ahead and just put
They'll
it up
just
for
make it.
retail?
They'll
Kind of
just
like the
make it.
bat they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just going to make it, and I wouldn't be surprised if come March or April they relaunch that mothership and change the shipping.
You think so?
Ugh.
That's the thought.
You know, Super 7's kind of to me like an ex-girlfriend. You know, like she was like super crazy, but you really didn't mind banging her. Can I say that? I just
Well,
Well, it's out there.
You already did, Jeff.
Gavin, close your
Yeah,
ears.
you kind of said it.
I bought the Super Shogun Mecha Godzilla, and I'm a big Shogun Warriors guy. I've never been so disappointed in something that I paid that much money for. Probably maybe a drink tab, but or football tickets.
Or that
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend you just mentioned.
Super
Or maybe
7
that, yeah.
has
Maybe my
some
first
cool-
one.
Yeah,
But-
they have
but
some cool ideas. When they
do,
show their
man, it's
renders, you get excited, and then you hear
Yeah.
people who actually buy it and they get it home, and it's like, this
God
sucks.
dang,
It's like,
dude! I
well,
was so bummed out when I opened that. I'm like, "Fuck this thing." Ugh.
Yeah, I
Or
wish they
whatever.
could get their act together. But
I have to
you
say,
know.
Fresh Monkey Fiction's been killing it. They've been
Yeah.
killing it with like the Eagle Force
Absolutely.
stuff. I love them. You know, they I don't want to say they stole it, but they got the trademark topside that used to be a Joe, and then now he's an Eagle Force figure. Matt LaCroix did the paint masters on a
actually-
lot
Oh,
of the Eagle
dude.
Force stuff, and they're just fantastic.
I love
The
it.
articulation's good, but it's not too much where it takes away from the sculpt and the art of the figure. Extra hands, extra heads, extra hats,
But they
accessories.
did it right, Chad.
Yeah.
They took an old line and brought in some of the old characters, but
Right.
then they added new ones, changed some of the characters' looks. You know, it's like
How
that's
cool
how you
is
do
it?
it, right?
How
Yeah,
cool is
and,
it that it's the
you know-
same scale as GI Joe now? So you have what you wanted as a kid.
They're
gonna
all
say,
intermixed in my
yeah,
Joe
Ed
shelf.
was into the original Eagle Force, and
Yep.
as he could tell you, they predate Real American Hero.
By
They
a
had
year,
a Wild
right?
Bill before
Yeah.
Wild
Guys.
Bill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had the Indian character, American Indian character.
They
prior
had
to them,
they
right?
had
Yep.
several characters that Joe ripped off. Hasbro ripped
well,
off.
Are they going to go one?
Yeah.
Are they going to go 1/12 with Eagle Force? You guys think?
Some of the characters are
Oh,
getting made into
maybe.
1/12, but it's
Yeah,
in a
and then the
different line.
monster force stuff. Yeah,
I just want to know who's
That-
going to do Remco Sergeant Rock in 1/12 because I am 100%.
I would love
in
that.
on
That would
line,
be
baby.
Damn.
I loved. That was
That-
such a shitty line. I loved it.
That brings up another good point. We're seeing a lot of companies that are known for 118 dip their toe into the 1/12 scale waters. Boss Fight, Fresh Monkey. Boss Fight just showed us a red Sonya that looks really
Mhm.
tasty.
I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, for
Yep.
what, $50?
Yeah.
All the
That's admit,
stuff
that's tempting
Fresh
me.
Monkey's been doing with Eagle Force,
Pre-ordered.
they're already showing 1/12 versions, like they were saying, like you guys were saying, of some of the lead characters. The whole Monster Force thing, it's going to be in both flavors. And we're seeing that too. There's a parallel where people are saying, "We'll give it to you in 118 and 112. We're opening
Yeah.
it all up." And then, Four Horsemen, Are they 112? Because they're kind of beefy. They fall in that category, but they're a little tall.
They can be whatever they want. They're pretty dope.
Yeah. Sparrow started out at 118 with their Animal Kingdom stuff and then went to 112. Right. So, it's kind of the trends are going both ways.
Sparrow, I like their 112 much better than their 118.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Details are better.
Looks better. Yeah.
These guys drive me nuts. I hate Toddy McFarlane for taking DC Universe and putting it into this god-awful scale and giving all the heroes diapers. I don't know what.
Thank you, Largo.
I'm just saying, Uncle Toddy needs to get somebody to teach him basic anatomy. I don't know what.
You've seen his art, right?
Yeah, and it's like with NECA. They've always made like a 7-inch 1/10 scale. They do some great stuff. Their old stuff was like shattered, really easy. It's getting better. Yeah. It is getting better.
It is getting better.
Storm Collectibles,
Flash
they do some. Yeah. Hey. Storm Collectibles just gave us Gotchamon. We got our first from. Oh, I'm loving that. They do some great stuff, but it doesn't fit the scale of all my other stuff. So that's a pet peeve. What about
I want to see the rest of Gotchaman. I would like to see the whole team.
Yes.
I would totally buy all those.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get it because they're not. Storm is not great about follow through on whole lines. They've done some Tekken, they've done some other, like Mortal Kombat.
We got Mortal Kombat.
Will they give us the whole line?
Has anybody ever produced a full line of Gotchaman or super articulated action figures? I just usually it's either Mark and Ken. That's it. That's all you get.
Right.
That's almost
G1
all you
and
ever
G2.
Get.
Give me tiny.
There was a line that came out, I guess now 20 years ago. They weren't super articulated, but they came with like a little version of their vehicle.
Yeah.
And then they had, was that Palisades? Do you guys remember that line?
Yep.
But they did. They did Zoltar. They did all 5 of the Ninja Gotchaman.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was, but yeah, that line was out there. I remember that.
They did a lot of the cool. Palisades is great. They did a lot of the Muppets, almost all the Muppets. Play sets. I wish Palisades never went away.
I've got the Pigs in Space saying, ship from them. I love it.
Plastic Meatballs planning on doing a 118 Gatchaman.
Ooh.
Oh, I have the Microman version of it. That's cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for, Science Team Ninja.
So
I don't know why. I just like it.
That's one of the first cartoons I can remember as a kid. I just love it.
So, Jim, one thing that is kind of standing out to me in these slides and what you're talking about is it seems like a lot more independent or indie, smaller toy companies have really popped up over the last year, and next year have so much coming out. I feel like people are moving more towards supporting those companies rather than the big two. Because a lot of what they've done is not innovative or new in any way. How do you guys feel about that?
So I'm gonna take a crack at this real quick. Will, Ryan, Pete, whoever else was at Joe Fest, right? So we were all there. You've got Strike Force Alpha guys, the Delta 17 guys. You got Carson and Operation Recall. You've got the Kukoviches and Troy and Call Sign Longbow, and you've got all these, right? Everybody was there. The Skeletron guys were there, and on and on and on and on, and we could just keep naming names. Was Hasbro there? No.
No.
Hasbro gonna go there? No.
Nope.
Did anybody care? No. Right? And that's the thing. Nobody cares if Hasbro goes to the only convention, well, not the only, but the most well-known convention that the kind of came out of the ashes of the con that they killed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing that ever kills, and I'm just saying G.I. Joe specifically because I'm kind of answering that question in a roundabout way. The only thing that ever kills Joe is Hasbro. Hasbro is G.I. Joe's worst enemy. Nobody cares that Hasbro's not there. Nobody cares that they go to SDCC because they're fucking hipsters and they want to hang out
on the other shoe.
You know what I mean? Like,
did we see Mattel at PowerCon? No,
it was the same thing. No one gave a shit at PowerCon. Mattel wasn't there.
But you see,
same thing.
PowerCon's only gotten bigger since Mattel has pulled out.
Exactly.
Mattel pulled out, and Val has really kind of elevated what we've seen. And this is the thing, like, I know Ken kind of coined the phrase a while ago, we're in this toy renaissance. A lot of people say it's like a golden age of collecting. No, that's when we were kids. That was the golden age.
Yeah.
This is the renaissance because they've taken what we've had, they've made it better. That's a renaissance. And now they're giving us new and better things.
The fans are doing the best work.
And that's
right. The fans have become the creators.
Super talented sculptors, great engineering. We're seeing figures that can do stuff our figures could never, hope to dream of doing, like holding a rifle the right way. I'm just saying.
They're
doing some cool stuff.
So you go to Joe Fest and you see the lines every year for Action Force. You see all the hype when people walk by the Skeletron booth and you see the actual boxes. So last year we saw the Robo Skull Mark II. This year we saw the vehicle and all the Paintmaster figures and the boxes. And people just get more and more and more excited. Marauders coming out with awesome new stuff. So is Eagle Force, Fresh Monkey Fiction, on and on and on, and things like that. Even like Adamant Toys, Matt LaCroix, they're just coming out with killer stuff. This is like, again, if we equate it to music, not Van Hagar, but look at Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses now. When you see like Vince Neil or Axl Rose sing and they sound like ass, why do people go? Name recognition alone. Yep. That's it. There are so many bands that are better than those two bands are.
100%.
It's just people are like, dude, it's Motley Crue. We got to go. It's like, have you heard Vince Neil sing lately? He sounds like ass.
He looks like ass.
Somebody is killing Eduardo in your backyard, Jim. That's what it sounds like.
Indeed.
But people don't flock to Hasbro because it just says Hasbro. They'll pay that inflation.
Well, it's like Journey's doing their farewell tour, and there's one guy left from the original Journey that's going to be in there. I mean, that's what you're talking about. Right?
It's like, just look what Hasbro
you realize
did.
at this point, Leonard Skinner's a Leonard Skinner cover band.
Yeah.
There are no more original members to Leonard Skinner. They're all dead.
But that's the thing. Like the Hassenfelds are gone. The days of the Hassenfelds are over. People like Kirk Bazigian, Daryl DePriest, Vinny DeLivia, Ron Rudat, all those guys are gone. It's just like corporate people looking at spreadsheets and they're like, yeah, Snake Eyes will sell. Make him brown.
And that's one thing that getting into, the Axis of Awesome and the guys who were into the 1/6 fuzzy head Kung Fu grip guys really taught me was the fans still love this, and they love it more than the company that made it in the first place. And they're still innovating. The fans are putting out stuff.
Look what Hasbro just recently did to Super Joe Unlimited, right? The guys that started Super Joe Unlimited, who are the same guys that did Strike Team Alpha or whatever. I think they sent him like I'm probably not
sternly worded letter.
They got the license for the trademark or whatever to do Super Joe. They call it Super Joe Unlimited, and it was ultra successful. If you're a Super Joe fan, you're a really small niche, but it's a cool line. And those guys got that, and they did so well with that. And then Hasbro saw that, and they just shit all over him, And Wild Elephant Toys is doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I love their Action Joe or whatever, Combat Man action.
Tokyo Joe or Combat Joe,
it's just
so not only the offerings that have been released in the last year and are coming next year, just those are the things that I've been attracted to. And then in light of recent news and the way that Hasbro treats its employees and consumers, I just find myself gravitating towards spending my dollars, supporting these independent creators, people who really care about the products, and the customers like Valivers. And
they should have fired 3 executives and kept everybody else.
Careful, Will. They're going to send
exactly.
Here's the biggest thing.
We're going to get a sternly worded letter. That kind of brings up another trend. I want to pick your guys' brains on. The market, they're still putting out stuff, and they're filling up the shelves. Granted, some of it is from failed movies and other franchises, but there's a boutique high-end area of collecting where it's like, you like He-Man? Well, you can get the Masterverse, or you can get the Origins re-release, or you can buy the super expensive Mondo one, which is like the ultimate version. If you've got deep pockets and you're into the Hot Toys kind of realm, I'm not. I don't have that kind of money.
Battle Cat.
Mezco, Mezco's doing some great stuff. that is, so there's a higher end version of all these toys that some collectors are gravitating towards, and I'm one of them. Most of my DC Universe stuff has been replaced with Mafex because their Superman from the Hush line is the quintessential Superman figure. Their Batman from Hush kicks ass over anything McFarlane has tried to put out. Their Spider-Man is much better than anything Marvel Legends gave us 6 times before they got it right. So is it worth the extra to buy the import premium and not get the mass market stuff? I don't know.
For me, I have to say, I bought that Mafex Magneto and it was like instantly I regretted it. But like after the X-Men 97 Magneto came out, I was looking at that versus that Hasbro one. I was like, I think I overpaid, but at the same time, I don't think I need that Hasbro one. It was like, no, this is like a great Magneto. It's a really good figure, and Mafex nailed it. I do think I overpaid.
Your Ragnarok video was a great example. Ragnarok they put out, who came with the spinning hammer for Thor, that Thor didn't come with when they put out the anniversary edition. I bought the Mafex Thor. Guess what? It comes with a spinning hammer and extra hands and a cloth cape, and it's groovy.
Yeah, right.
Did it cost more than Hasbro? Sure did, but I got what I wanted.
Now you see that brings up the problem with Mafex though, is like that Thor was short in what Thor should be. That's the problem.
That's debatable.
Thor.
Yeah, it's really they do true to scale. Mafex tries to.
Yeah,
get in there, Ryan.
Well, I'm just saying, Mafex. That's an original Thor. That's a classic Thor who wasn't that big. If you look at the original run of the Avengers comics, he wasn't super huge. Like he's depicted now. So that's what Mafex is going for, and I think personally, it works. It might be a tad short, maybe. My biggest issue with that thing was the hair sculpt and his inability to look up, because Thor flies and throws his hammer, and that figure can't look up.
Their Spider-Man is scrawny, but for me, I think Peter Parker's a scrawny dude. He should be smaller than the guys he
was
like that.
I think comics, he was a tiny little thing.
Yeah. So, for the most part, SH Figure Arts, Mafex, they're nailing the characters and the articulation. Not always, but most of the time.
Right.
The trade-off being much more expense because you got to ship it from a faraway land. And, so it's like I'm at this point in my collection, I'm buying less, but I'm buying more quality, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
I mean,
you're not putting up with like a janky head sculpt. Like, all right, I don't get it.
Yeah. What are the guys that are making the G.I. Joe 1/12 that, in addition to like Hasbro and Mezco, I can't remember the name of the brand.
There's a bunch of them. Let me find the slide. I'll show you.
Cotswold Collectibles just posted one of their figures today. I don't like the faces on any of those. They look like dog shit.
Is that Joy Toy or Haya?
Is it Haya maybe? I think it might be Haya Toys. I don't like the faces on them. They look weird.
This is something, Chad and Michael from LaserPants, from Retro Blasting. He's got lasers, so I get confused.
Laser blasting.
Laser blasting.
These are retro.
He added lasers. Yeah.
But the point being, Hasbro is farming out the G.I. Joe IP.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nothing new. We saw that with Turtles. We've seen that with a bunch of other IPs, that other companies are taking the risk of manufacturing stuff.
Cross-pollination.
Yeah. Yep. At the last time I counted, and I may have missed a few, there's 7 different companies that are either currently or will be doing G.I. Joe in some form or fashion, including Jada, because they did the little metal vehicle of the van, and they're doing the minifigs.
Yep.
So I don't know if this is a good thing. I mean, when you put it out to that many people, what are you getting back? Are you getting a good quality from one and then something half baked? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think you're confident in your own design teams.
One thing I will give Jada is at least they did a friggin' hooded Cobra Commander.
You can't show that on YouTube. You'll get us
good.
You might just banned instantly.
Yeah.
It's an
know how I feel
executioner's
about
hood. It's not the other thing.
Actually, yes, you're correct. Thank you. But Lorenzo Di Bonaventura says otherwise.
Yeah, but he's an
He's a
He's an
total.
arse.
That's
Yeah,
that's
he's
how
an
you
idiot.
save Transformers and Joe right off the bat. You build a giant trebuchet and you fire that dude into the sun and you start over. But
that should be in the opening credits.
I don't like the Haya Joes. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I was excited about him for a minute when I found out that if you saw the first couple releases, when Apro Studios showed the Cobra Commander for the Haya run, it was not a scaled down classified aesthetic. It was a completely new design that borrowed from the Resolute helmet and parts of the original Cobra Commander with the pants strapped over the boots, but just enough new in Apro's design. And Apro said, "Yeah, I'm doing some other sculpts for Haya Joes." But then they showed that Flint. He looks like Pinocchio. Like, I'm a real boy. The sculpt.
It looks bad. It does.
Yeah, it's not good.
You're right.
Now, I will say,
That was
if
a
you look
spot
at
on impression.
this, again, they're a higher end company. Fig Zero is making 1/6 scale Joes that are chef's kiss. Their Cobra Commander looks awesome.
One thing
It's
I
a
will
little
say
high
about
in
Haya,
price.
though, is that Haya can only sell to the Asian markets, which
Yeah.
like that was revealed, that was found out, and that's why you're never going to see. And again, I know I've talked about it before ad nauseum, but you're not going to see Rad Joe vehicles like the Aliens APC. Haya
Probably look like bootlegs.
That's it, right?
But your Joes will fit in that APC, and I'm sure they
You're
will.
damn
at some
straight they
point.
do. Yeah. I'm not going to pick it up again.
Because it's cool.
Because somebody
No,
will
it's
give me
heavy.
shit in the chat if I pick it up. Say, "Oh, Chad sleeps with that."
You have a
No.
1-to-1 scale Baroness. We
do.
don't think you're
I
sleeping
do.
with the APC.
Pete and I were just talking about this with JMK Customs earlier. Yeah, I've seen my 1-to-1 scale Baroness in the armor and the undies, and I'm good.
And we salute you.
So the tanks
Indeed.
PC only sleeps with you when she's out on duty, right? That's what you're saying.
You're so
I'm waiting
mean.
for something to come flying from the door and just.
How did we get this many people here and not have anything toxic happen? That just doesn't make sense. Because
I'm trying
it should be
hard.
coming. You know, allegedly, we're all toxic haters and man.
I did show a hooded Cobra Commander.
Yeah, it's pretty,
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
Good job.
that's
That's
toxic.
Yeah.
triggering.
That's the uncircumcised Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
It's the kosher one. Yeah.
It's all about the merchandising.
So, can you throw up what JLS just said?
Will might, because he's
This?
smarter than I am. There we go.
No, JLS.
Oh,
That's
JLS. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
it's
yes.
me.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So this is what I was talking about in that video, right? So the guy from Hasbro, and again, we know that Hasbro they go to people because they want hype. They know that people are going to leak it. Again, it's like 90-10. I think 90% of it is factual and 10% is they're feeling out what the community, I hate that word, what they would think. And I think that when this guy from Hasbro told me, "Oh yeah, we're going to revive the figure subscription service for 4-inch Joes again," I was like, that sounds like you're feeling for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it, but that's just me. But yeah, so I was told directly, like, Haya can only sell in Asian markets. That's why you won't see the Big Bad Toy Store, the Entertainment Earth, on and on and on, because Hasbro's bringing back 4-inch Joes.
Yeah, and I'm glad they actually said it though, because for like a year they were promoting them. I see them on the Haya Facebook or Instagram, and there's no mention that you can't get it. You go to the Haya website, you go to check out, and then you click on the cart, and it goes, "This is not available in your region."
Yeah, but you can get them from places like Cotswold Collectibles and other places, but that's still third party. They're getting them from Asian distributors, and they're bringing them over. So you're never going to be able to just jump on Amazon and be like, "Oh, I want to get that stupid Pinocchio Flint." It's just not going to happen.
But here's the key
problem with
thing
what
that
Hasbro's
we've
doing
kind
with
of
license is that licensing it out to all these people for people that are completists. You know, there's people out there that need to have every Joe thing that's out there. It's going to make that's like Hasbro saying, "F you, we don't care if you want to get everything because this guy's going to do it this way. We're going to have some this way, and it's all going to be completely different.
Right. But at the
But
same
what we're
time,
seeing with a lot of guys is,
and they don't
you
think
know,
like
they're getting into these other things. They're getting away from the GI Joe brand because there's other stuff out there that's great,
Right.
whether it
Or
be
Star
Action
Wars.
Force or Star Wars.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
Cosmic
Black
Legion.
series,
There's-
Smack series.
there's new stuff out there that has replaced those things, and
Yeah.
we don't miss what we don't have.
Yep.
You
as
know,
soon as they
I've
went to
I've gotten
Wilhelm-
back into the 6-inch fuzzy heads guys, and I had a couple classifieds, but honestly, Action Force won out in my collection because they're better quality, and I like the fact that they're new characters, and there's a lore there that I enjoy.
Show. Toxic show.
It's
right there.
I know, but it's
Chill,
nothing against
you.
what, Larry Hama and the gang did in the back in the day. I appreciate that, but that's not where I am today in my collection.
Let me ask you guys
And
this:
that's okay.
How were you guys disappointed in the 60th anniversary Action Sailor and Action Soldier? I thought they should have
yeah.
had a vintage.
I like that 60th
1964
anniversary
head
Action
sculpt.
Soldier when somebody else did it already.
I just wanted to see a vintage head sculpt, right?
You mean it was a Dork Side exclusive?
No, I'm not saying that there's a Delta Trooper out there that's already filling that void, but I'm just saying that there's already a trooper out there filling that void, and it's done much better.
But with the 60th anniversary figure, if you're doing the 60th anniversary, you should release a head sculpt of the actual original GI Joe that goes with that figure.
Yeah,
because
Hasbro
Hasbro
does
doesn't
the
give a shit.
anniversary of the original Action Soldier, not the
Not
real
some
American hero.
nameless, faceless goon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But
thank you,
That
Jack.
guy.
yeah, exactly. Those right there. Yeah, the old 3 3/4 ones from the what,
Yeah,
was that
like-
40th anniversary.
Hey, man, make.
I think that was the 40th or the 35th, maybe.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, 30th, I think you're right.
You're blowing everything else up. Blow
25th. It would be 25th.
Chad, what's the sticker say on the front for the year of anniversary? Of that one?
25th?
Oh, this is 1994. This is
So
the 30th.
Well, I mean,
30th. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was confusing too because Hasbro celebrated the 25th, the 30th,
Lock it.
and the anniversaries didn't jive. If you
You do
remember,
shit for the 50th.
Nope.
yeah, it was weird.
Just a con, got a concept.
Well, they did
Low
put
light.
out figures and said it was a 50th, but they didn't quite jive with the actual anniversaries.
You know,
Or
they
am I
always
wrong
they
on
always they always brag about going into the archives, but I think they get about fucking, tip deep.
Monstro.
Don't go balls deep in the archives.
Just a tip.
Get
Just a
balls
tip,
deep in there.
just to see how it feels.
I'm just
You
saying
know,
it's
game
sad
you
when
like to
Doctor
play.
Who has a better continuity than Hasbro. You know?
Oh man. Yeah, that's
Exterminate.
At least we know when the 60th anniversary is. Okay.
True. Not that they're doing that well either, but that's another story.
I've prepared
Well, that's
myself.
an
to be
argument
just
for another
disappointed
time, but
this
we'll
year.
talk about that later.
Yeah.
Hey, like,
What about companies like Ramen Toy? What he's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what he's doing.
yeah,
I love it.
I really like
The
what
other
Ramen
companies
is doing.
do it.
but
Love
it's not for me.
He's going
I
to make
think-
118 scale stuff for me. So Ace is one of
Yeah.
my new best friends.
No,
was
I
gonna
told
say,
him not to.
Ace,
I don't know.
Ace has a
How'd you do that?
Ace is
Who are
super
you?
creative.
You're welcome.
And I love the fact that he can look at something and see it, on the horizon and go, huh, I can do that better and probably get it to market before those knuckleheads can figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
The Brave
there's a
Star
lot of
stuff's
his
cool.
stuff that's kind of a giant FU to the corporate, and I love that.
Did anybody get the
definitely
Brave
is.
Star figures? Are they out yet?
They're not out yet. They don't come out.
They're
till
not
next
out
June.
yet. They're
They
not.
looked really
Seeing him
cool.
at PowerCon was.
I was
Yeah.
surprised Mattel didn't come in there and smack him down, but I don't know if they have the license anymore.
So that brings up a really good point. Do you think with all these independent companies, these indie companies, these fans doing fantastic work, that we're going to see, this is kind of my prediction for the next year, is Hasbro or Mattel trying to buy up these brands? They're doing so well. They're going to try and buy them up and either shelf them or, run them into the ground.
I don't
they have
think
their
Hasbro
own
has
all
the
IP
the
out
money.
there
IPs
writing
they've already
CDs.
bought and shelved.
I don't think Hasbro has the money.
Not right now.
No.
Not right now. They don't.
They
been
see
taking
that
a lot of
these
L's.
independent companies, so many have, it's doubled in the last 5 years, let's just say, the amount of companies putting out successful lines. I just think they're going to try and go after that, and either we've seen them enforcing IPs like that they kind of abandoned in the past and never really went after. So people getting letters. So they're trying to bury the competition and or snatch it up.
I
But-
think
but
to see Hasbro
I
go
don't
crazy with
see
watching
them.
people get really close to their IPs and trying to stop them from doing that, but they ain't going to buy nothing. So
Okay.
even if these
I don't
customers,
see them.
companies
putting
make a
any
figure
money
that's
on this.
similar to their figure, they're going to try stopping them, but they're not going to buy it. They don't have the funds for it.
You don't think so?
They'll
You
send
don't
a
think
C&D.
Hasbro's gonna try and buy
but-
Valipers?
No.
No,
or
they'll
something like
they'll
that?
send out
I
a
would love
C&D,
to
but they're not
see
going to put them
try
on
to
there.
buy Valaverse. I would love to see them try.
Yeah, there's
Well,
no
I
way
just
they
think
have
that
money.
if they were to buy a company like that, so long as they left like a creator and creative control, maybe that would work. But otherwise, it would kind of ruin it.
I
Hasbro
don't
buying a
know.
new toy company is going to be like Disney buying Star Wars and Marvel. It's just going to fuck it all up.
Right.
I think they're too
Yeah.
full of themselves to even think
Okay.
about it.
They'll send cease and desist to whoever they
Yep.
want whenever it suits them, and then they'll lean on their usual 3 or 4 IPs, and we're just going to run it all into the ground. Like that's the corporate playbook right now with everybody. It doesn't matter if it's movies or TV shows or dollies or whatever. It's just the same crap.
Well,
Well,
it
here's
is
the biggest
they'll
thing
always
that
C&D.
is what I'm saying. They are competition, and they really,
but they're
more and
really
more
not.
keep coming up.
Here's the thing. We think of toys in general as these adult collector lines.
I don't.
Let's look back at those numbers from last year, right? What was that big article that came out that had everybody fired up because they called us a bunch of kidults?
Adults.
12%. 12% isn't even a quarter. It's less than half of a quarter. Is how much
sure?
our market adds to the toy business of the world. So as much as we like to think like Hasbro and Mattel, like we're single-handedly supporting these companies, we're not a drop in the bucket of any of the money that they take in.
But that's where
But
they
with
put
action
all their
figures,
effort.
we are. With action figures specifically, we are. But
Okay,
Hasbro
but the
also
kind of
has
argument on
Play-Doh
No,
that
here's
is-
the
Nerf.
thing. We're taking just action. We're talking the whole toy market, right? If
Right, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
stopped buying action figures today, Mattel and Hasbro are going to do absolutely fine. They're not even really going to notice that much. We're
They would
not
notice
that big of a
12%,
Okay,
but
but the counter argument is
12% isn't big.
How many
here's
times
the
have you been
thing.
asked?
Play-Doh.
If we stop buying from Four Horsemen, or we stop buying Valaverse, guess what? They go bankrupt. They're done because that's all the money they have. That's all the
They're
money.
back.
So we're not like we really don't matter to Hasbro. We don't matter to Mattel. They do not give a shit. They don't care, and that's okay. They don't have to because we choose where we spend our money, right? For everybody that
I
complains
just
about
told
buying
Jeff
GI
earlier
Joe,
today.
stop buying GI Joe.
Yeah. I just told Jeff
That's
earlier today, Hasbro's going to become a kids toy company, and they're going to be license holders for all of the figures and stuff like that end up being collectibles.
So that
That's
might
what
be
they're
the path more
But-
so than
Yeah,
that
I
they
mean,
may
okay.
co-opt some of these companies that are successful and license their stuff out to them because
Yeah.
they're doing it.
An argument to that is like, how many times have you been asked walking out of a store, are you buying this for your kid or are you buying this for you?
I've never been
I
asked
mean,
that question.
that
I've never
number
been asked.
that number that was produced in that article is an assumption. We don't know what that number is.
Yeah.
Well, they look
And
at the
all
toys
we
for
have-
that specific age range data, right?
Yeah.
When
all
you
we
see
have,
on that box ages 12 and up, Kidult is ages 12 and up.
yeah, but all we
Right.
have is our own observation. Now, I walk into the toy
we're
aisle,
such a, yeah,
and
but
it's
if,
like
if we're such a
other adults.
minority to Hasbro and Mattel and these big boys because of the other diverse things they sell, why is
But,
Hasbro's
I mean, think about something for a
problems
second.
financially going on? Because they're selling other
Yeah.
things, right?
Well, they've lost
Right,
their ass
so-
on a movie
But
company.
think
for
about
one thing.
something-
They've
for a
also are spending a shit ton in licensing.
Yeah, they got Star
Think
Wars
about
and
it.
Marvel.
They produce everything from Disney pretty much, with the exception of Mirrorverse, which somehow Todd has. Don't know how that works.
But think about something
they
for a
pay
second.
all that money out for licenses
Mhm.
that aren't selling.
Yep.
And
But
that
think about
we
this
have
for a second.
100% correlation to almost.
But think about this for
Yeah.
a second. These IPs that they're spending money on, who is the core audience for that? Masters of the Universe. You think kids really care about Masters of the Universe now?
No, they
Mattel's
don't.
not
And
paying
that's why Mattel's
licensing
switching
for
it
that,
to. Yeah, they don't pay licensing for that IP. They own it. But
Well, yeah,
that's
but I
also
mean, I'm just trying to
why-
give an IP that is an example. It's like
Sure.
GI Joe
And
GI Joe Real
right,
American
kids-
Hero. Do you think kids care about GI Joe Real American Hero?
Some
People
do.
don't even know that Zarana is Zartan's sister.
What?
Yeah.
The way that I look at it, yeah, no, but
Spoilers.
that's
Yeah,
100%
But
true.
it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, people don't even realize that. And it's
So
like,
Robert is absolutely correct. So when they announced that they were doing the SMS, and Ryan, here's your love, dude.
There
You
we
said
go.
the professional love, and I can't do
Right.
it in song, so I wore your shirt for you because I love you, and you know I love you. But when they announced,
Did you get the
SMS
matching 3POA chonies?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They sell them like underoos.
Well, when they
Nice.
announced the SMS, people are like, "What's the SMS?" And then they announced the vamp. And some people are like, "Well, how big is that in relation to a figure?" And they showed Glenda with the dragonfly, and people are like, "Who the hell is that stupid character?" It's like, oh man, that's why my working theory has always, and again, it's a theory, right? It's just based on observations. Most people who collect classified are not Joe people; they're just 1/12 scale dolly buyers.
100%. Yep.
And then they're just like, oh look, it's another 1/12 scale dolly, or it's something that I can use to supplement other lines like Marvel Legends, and they just buy it.
There is a YouTuber that has collected every Power Rangers Lightning collection figure who's never watched Power Rangers.
There you go.
Most of the Joe collectors probably started out in Legends, maybe a little bit of Black Series, and they just saw the 12th scale
Most of the
Joes and like,
classified
oh yes, love
collectors,
this
yeah.
stuff.
But the thing is, I always talk about IPs just in general because that's a very broad, kind of blanket to say IP. If you want to know how healthy or solvent any line is, go into Walmart or go into Party City, go down the birthday aisle and see what's there. G.I. Joe is not there.
The one, right? It's the one
G.I.
that
Joe is
always
not
has
there.
the
You're going
added
to see like your Avengers,
Paw Patrol,
Barbie. You're going to see Barbie. You're
Right.
going to see maybe some Transformers, some
Transformers.
Star Wars.
Yep.
You don't see Joe.
No.
As much as I've always loved G.I. Joe, just like what Delta 17 said, I'd love to have an idea just how many shipwrecks Hasbro put out. And people are like, oh yeah, class doing so great, and the line is firing on all cylinders. It's like, just because you sold 9,000 of an army builder doesn't mean shit. Because in 1985, they were selling like 3 million of that Snow Serpent. So don't give me that.
Yeah.
As much
And
as
it
I
kinda
love
tag-
Joe,
tag on what-
will never cut it. It won't.
Joe
cut
wasn't even in the birthday aisle when the movies were out. I remember when the
Right.
first
There you
movie
go.
came out, my son wanted a G.I. Joe birthday, and I had to order him from specialty store off of Amazon or something to get G.I. Joe ribbon.
But I have
Sure.
a G.I. Joe birthday door hanger, that you hang on your front door of your house from 1986, sitting right over here. And you're not going to see that crap anymore. You just
I got Sarge napkins, party napkins.
Hey,
Hey, I remember when I was a kid at the supermarket by my house, they had that little flip book of all the birthday party cakes you could pick. And they had a G.I. Joe one, but it sucked. It was just like Green Army men, and they just wrote G.I. Joe on the tank.
And it's
I
funny
wanna-
how
Even
we
G.I.
took,
Joes on there.
you saw a real American hero transformed into Action Force by Palatoy, or some of the other countries have taken this and made it work internationally.
Falcon.
Yet the parent company Hasbro can't figure that out. They can't figure out how to make it relative for new kids coming into this now. Come on.
Yeah,
And it's
Classic
tag on
Coastal
the-
Vulcan is still
tag on
making
to what
12 inch.
Chad
It has
said.
been.
Part of
tag
it
on-
truly is look at the success of Ninja Turtles, right? Consistently since the 80s, Ninja Turtles has managed to reinvent themselves every decade, appeal to a completely younger generation each and every decade, and continues to thrive as such. And they're in the process of doing it again.
Yep.
And like Chad's saying, it's absolutely true, right? You go look at the peripheral stuff, all the crazy extra added stuff that they make for like your kid's bedroom, the sheet sets and all like that.
Yep.
You will always find Ninja Turtles, right?
Mhm.
So how does a company or how does Ninja Turtles manage to keep itself relevant when other IPs just completely fall off. Because, me being a big He-Man guy, right? Man, we went into hibernation for a long time before we came back with Origins. And they tried to reinvent themselves.
Not very good.
And
with Turtles,
unfortunately, it's fallen off because
you could say Turtles. I mean, they came out with a movie.
That's
a movie that my little next door neighbors love.
He-Man came out with 2 series simultaneously, and all the He-Man fandom did was like kind of shit on both of them.
They weren't very good. I mean, to be honest,
I loved both of them. They were great. They were amazing.
I didn't like them. I'm a He-Man guy. I'm a He-Man guy too. I got a 5-year-old.
What did you like about it? Right?
I didn't like the story. I didn't like any of it. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it at all.
Okay.
If Revelation had given us
a
few episodes of the classic He-Man battles before they shuffled He-Man.
Let me give you a good point of view. I'll give you a point of view. I don't know if any of you guys can really come from. I have a 5-year-old, so I'm 49. I got a 5-year-old, and I've introduced my 5-year-old.
Have a 5-year-old, so yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I've introduced my 5-year-old to He-Man, and from my point of view, like I bought all the Origins lines, and he watches the cartoon. Wouldn't get into it at all. Didn't like it. I introduced him to the earlier cartoon that was on Sci-Fi Channel, I think, or Cartoon Network.
2003.
Yep. Loves that. Hates the new He-Man, and I'm with him. I think the new He-Man. I didn't like it. I don't like Kevin Smith. I didn't like it at all.
Stuff.
It didn't register with me.
I enjoyed all of it. I just
it's cool that you did.
First off, there's something new. He-Man trying to be reinvented for a new age, keeps it in media and keeps it continuing, right?
Yeah.
But if everybody just craps on it and doesn't really give it, its due, I mean, because it doesn't take away from anything that we've ever had before, right? Having that new line out does not take a single damn thing away from 1985, does it?
Yeah.
But if we give it a chance, we let it breathe, we try to let it resonate. I loved that new CGI line. Like when we were kids, right? Everybody fought over being He-Man because he was the one that had the power, right?
No, which
now everybody's got.
I like the other He-Man series that was on Netflix.
The CGI, that was great.
That was really good. That was.
I enjoyed Revelation because I always wanted to see what the hell would happen if Skeletor won.
Yeah,
and he did.
Like Revelation.
He won, and then Evelyn.
Well, my favorite toy line of the last 5 years has been Spin Master Batman, which nobody likes. And
nobody likes the Spin Master.
I can't explain it to anyone. And for some reason, I love that line. I buy every single thing that comes out.
It's got vehicles, play sets, a good character selection. What's not to like? It's a great line.
I love it.
It's a great line. You're right.
We can't explain why we like something or dislike something, but I bring it up in groups all the time. And people are like, "Well, those kids' toys," and I'm like, "Yeah, those kids' toys. I like."
Wilhelm, do you have the monster truck?
Yes.
That thing is the most powerful monster truck I've ever played with.
So strange.
I'm a giant fan of
Ryan's got a roll here in a few minutes. I want to get his hot take on some stuff, so I'm going to throw up some stuff.
He-Man
and then
sucks.
You guys can chime in as well.
Sucks. Every He-Man from 1980 and on has sucked.
All you He-Manses.
He-Manses.
Yeah, indeed. Distribution getting better or getting worse in 2024?
Worse.
Honestly, dude, I haven't noticed because I go to Target sometimes, but it's all shit.
Yeah, Target run seems like a fool's errand.
Sit there because they're based on Disney Plus shows that no one likes and no one wants the toys, so they just sit there.
Yep.
Is it getting better? I have most stuff online, and if I want it, I usually can find it online. I don't have a hard time getting stuff, including most convention.
I don't think it's going to get better. Personally, I think it's just gotten worse over the last.
I don't buy new toys.
I think it's going to get more online.
How about the crowdfunding stuff?
This is an interesting one.
I'm interested to see what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, HasLab and Maddie, I think, this is my own personal opinion. All in all, my personal opinion, I think we're at the bust point of Maddie and HasLab. The thing that's going to happen next is we're going to get Kickstarters, and it's going to be like people are going to get in over their heads. And
we've
I'm not
seen
sure
that happen already. I think.
Yeah, we have, but I think it's going to get worse. And it's not going to be like people are trying to rip anybody off. It's just like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to swing it. And like, I think, and then.
I understand that point. I understand some smaller creators kind of have to do that to make their dream come true. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so long as they're upfront about the time frame, how long it's going to take, and properly represent what they're making, I think it's worth the wait for some of
the
those
argument has been made several times by people smarter than me. There's a difference between having a creative idea and being able to create a toy and understanding the business side of actually dealing with a factory and manufacturing a toy and distributing it to the people who want it. And not everybody knows those ins and outs, but they can still do it.
Here's the problem that the HasLabs are going to run into, and Mattel's probably going to run into the same thing. Hasbro just announced they're going to have like higher end vehicles that are retail, Hasbro Pulse, right?
Yep.
So if you're going to do a HasLab like they've been doing, now you got to talk about a $500 HasLab.
That's ridiculous.
And it's just going to keep going up higher from there. If you can get the Vamp and you can get a whale off of Hasbro Pulse for a couple $100, how big does your Hasbro or HasLab has to be after that, right?
Rattler.
HasLabs are supposed to be dream projects.
I would argue that the HasLab should be like just that. Oh my God, just over the top.
Insane. It needs to be a freaking sail barge. It needs to be the Kitana, not a HISS tank.
Yeah,
right.
And like Ryan has said before on his show, and I agree 100%. I have heartburn when these billion-dollar companies are having to crowdfund when someone like Bobby Vallis says, you want a vehicle with top metal and bottom? Fuck yeah, I'll put it out, and I'll put it out cheaper than what these
cup holders and a coffee cup.
It's kind of like the
program and give him shit for his price.
If a
exactly.
guy who's a relatively new startup in the toy business, not that he doesn't have the experience, but I mean his company is younger than Hasbro and Mattel. He's making it happen. Why can't these guys get it figured out?
It's not that they
can't.
It's greed.
I mean,
and mismanagement of your funds.
What company makes brats? I mean, they make it happen too. So
they're lighting up the boulevard.
Well,
thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
That's the meme that just keeps giving. It's beautiful.
I think the problem
it really is.
The problem is with crowdfunding stuff to me is like they test it out and then a bunch of people fund it and then they're already you're in, right? You're already addicted to the drug.
Genie's out of the bottle.
You're going to keep going.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I mean, enough people have bought them and supported them so they continue to do them. So it's not, the opinion that it's not worth it is not universally accepted because obviously some people are out there actually paying for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean,
the biggest thing with crowdfunding is that it
one more hot take before Ryan has to bail on us, and then I'll let you guys go willy-nilly. Subscription services, Myth or Menace, is it coming back? Is it going to suck?
Oh,
I hope not, and I think it will suck because you're beholden to what they ship you.
Yeah.
That's really weird. I did not know what that was. I was not collecting when that came out, and when I heard about the whole thing where like you pay up front and then it's the figure of the month club. Yeah, I don't like that. That is.
I'll stick with the jelly of the month.
Yeah,
I walked away from collecting
giving the whole year through, Pete.
Subscription services.
Let's ask the Motu fans. Did you guys like Matty Collector's subscription service?
Never did any of it.
Nope. I wasn't around for all that, to be honest.
Didn't do any of it.
I was not an active collector. I missed the entire wave on classics.
Yeah, me too.
And to be completely honest, I probably wouldn't have. If they're giving me shit I don't want, I'm not going to pay for it. So I'm going to just run some. It's that easy, right? We choose where our money goes.
Yep.
So if you don't like a crowdfund, you ain't got to back it.
And I don't think
Matty Collector.
I don't think Hasbro would be any better or do any different.
Nope.
The final 2 years of their figure subscription service were crap. It was all kit bashes. That's all.
I really do not want to see that come back.
Later, bro.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time,
I'll
buddy.
see you Sunday, Ryan.
Sunday? This Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday.
Sunday.
Right.
What a swell guy.
Anyway, go back to that crowdfund crap. Let me say my piece.
Sir.
Yeah, you're chomping at the bit. Look,
I'll eat the potato chips.
Let's hear it.
Anyway, where was I going? The thing with crowdfunding, right? It relies on the internet entirely, and I don't just mean like to purchase it and fund it. I mean, the whole idea of the internet is consensus, and crowdfunding relies on consensus because they understand like the psychology of collecting is that people get that fear of missing out, and then they fall into the group think because they're in all these toy groups where they're just friggin' echo chambers. They rely on these people to peer pressure others within these groups. Hey, if you guys don't fund it, we're not going to get these dolly unlocks. If you guys don't fund it, we're not going to get that fucking bag of bones with the Rancor. You guys got to fund it. Everybody should back 5. And then when it funds, you just back it off to 1. And then we'll do all this like shady backdoor shit to make sure everybody gets this cool new thing, because I want to be the first one to post it on Instagram. How many people are putting up pictures of their fucking His Tank boxes on their porches right now because they just want like endorphin rush. Give me a like. I want an endorphin rush. I want to belong. And I understand
that sounds kind of toxic.
That's very toxic.
Of a copy.
I understand people may want it, and that's cool that you want it. I'm not crapping on liking what you like. What I'm saying is that it relies on consensus. And that is the problem with crowdfunding stuff that doesn't need crowdfunds.
The best part about all that, Chad, is that they will tell you that the guys from the 3POA ruined the engine of Vengeance getting created.
Right.
But then they'll turn around and tell you that it's not pressure from YouTube guys that make these crowdfunders so. It's because we're all fans and we love it. So it's like talking out both sides of their mouth, right?
Yeah.
They can eat it too.
100%. And I will be the first one to admit, and I've said it before, I fell into that freaking HasLab Sky Striker pit. I did. I did. And I already have like 9 Sky Strikers, but for some reason
you didn't have ketchup and mustard deck crew.
Nobody got ketchup and mustard.
You know,
I know.
Part of me was
that's
like,
what sucks about that. HasLab.
If I don't, they're not going to make more 1/18 scale Joe. And what did they do? Like 5 minutes later on a round table, they're like, yeah, we're not going to do any more O-ring Joes. And I'm not even an O-ring guy. I'm a modern construction guy. But I bought it because I want to see 1/18 stay solvent. I was just stupid and I shouldn't have bought it. And now I'm stuck with 2 of them because their resale is shit.
Yep.
So you have any His Tanks?
I heard there were some QC issues with wings and parts not being great.
Figures.
Yeah, exactly.
Missing missiles and seats. What'd you say? Action? What'd you say?
I said, you didn't get the His Tank, right?
I would have if it had interchangeable cockpits like that Skeletron Roboskull Mark II.
Yeah,
but
you only have a couple 1/18 scale ones, right?
Yeah, I only have like 54.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I bought the Razor Crest, and I'm almost 100% sure it would have sold at retail.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Rancor would have sold at retail. Put it in a black box, do the little shadowy thing like they do with Black Series. Just put it on the shelf.
Yep.
If Mattel can get Castle Grayskull at retail, you could have done that Rancor at retail.
Yeah, but Mattel also found out that they couldn't really sell Grayskull at retail because they sat and then they went on clearance. Mega J's got a wonderful video where he was buying Grayskulls at like 10 cents a piece. Literally 10 cents a piece.
Like around here, I couldn't even find it.
I was going to say,
it's so weird. I never saw it, and Bjorn Jorgensen had his store had like 7 of them, or even more.
And that goes back to the distribution kerfuffle. It's not that people don't want to see this on the shelf; it's they don't see it on their shelf, but it's on the shelf, 6 states over, and they've got it in abundance.
Mattel can't control that. Mattel can't control it. Hasbro can't control it. Once it shows up at Walmart and Target's distribution centers, Mattel and Hasbro have nothing to do with distribution at that point. It got to their intended place. That is strictly
you think
Walmart.
They can put any pressure on these
so
companies?
That begs the question, though.
If they back
in the day, they used to.
Each time he went back, there were more. Like they kept shipping them to one store.
Because it was selling there, right? But if it never makes it to the other store and they don't sell, it's all set up off of a POS system that they use.
I can tell you this: nobody pressures Walmart to do anything.
No,
But wait,
they
that
really
begs
don't.
the question. Okay,
Look at
If
Jim
you're-
smoking. Hell yeah, dude.
I wish,
you're-
Dude,
if you're
I'm welcome if you
distributing
got
on
them.
the
and,
corner of
like,
my phone in a minute.
Smoke
you know,
them
it's
if you
not-
got
it-
'em.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Baller.
That's what I do
if
on
you're
Saturdays
distributing
after
it's
like
not
the third hour.
Hasbro or
It's
Mattel's
just
fault.
tobacco. It's not the wacky
No,
stuff.
it's not at all. It's definitely
Okay,
not
so
just
how
Mattel and
come-
Hasbro.
Okay, I had no interest in Castle Grayskull. Okay, but I noticed this very much
Mhm.
when that came out. The only place I ever saw it in retail was at Meager, which was like 100 miles away from my house. It was just like I was on a trip and I saw it and I was like, okay, there it is. How come that's the only place it ever showed up?
This one was
I
bought
would
at a
say-
Target here in Maryland.
Yeah,
Like this
I
one
saw
you
it.
see behind me.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
I
I
mean,
bought mine.
you're saying Mattel and Hasbro doesn't have anything to do with it, but why is
Right.
that the only place I see it? In the hundreds of stores I walk through, why is that the only place I see it?
Because Walmart and Target, like, okay, Walmart does their own distribution, right? Target does their own
Get it.
distribution.
I worked
I
in
used
the
to work
Walmart-
in. I worked in
Walmart
receiving at
distribution.
Walmart.
I get it, but it's like
Yeah,
at
I
the same
unloaded
time,
trucks.
I'm confused why, this only shows up at Meager.
I would say, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not, or if I'm crazy. Nothing
Oh,
has
we know
been
you're
right
crazy.
in distribution. Yeah, I know. But distribution of toys, the way toys get into the collector's hands has not been well done since Toys R Us was taken
yeah.
away from us.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I
about
think
it.
before that,
Right.
I think,
Yeah, maybe
honestly,
before that, actually, probably.
yeah, no, I think Pursuit of Cobra, G.I. Joe, just because that was the line I was interested in. Those last two waves were the ones I wanted most, and I really
Hard to
struggled to
find.
get them.
That's why
it was-
Lifeline's expensive.
Yeah,
Mm.
Lifeline. It was Lifeline, Airtight, Sci-Fi. Those guys, I did get them
Ted's Battle.
eventually, but it took a lot of work to get them.
Now, were they?
I think
were
that's
they
where
underproduced
distribution was
or
like
badly
worse,
distributed?
and it got worse from there.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying the ancient.
That's not
Aliens
saying it was
guy is a
aliens,
huge GI Joe
but
fan.
it was aliens.
He's a huge.
Oh, okay, it was aliens. Okay, that makes sense.
I
Yeah.
think that puts that one to bed.
I
Just
met
saying.
Giorgio Tsoukalos and he gushed all over the Mam's frickin' Baroness costume. I mean, yeah, of course, right?
Well, of course he did, right?
Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah, it's like easy
And
on
then
the
he did his
gushing.
hair.
He's one of the coolest dudes you will ever
Yeah.
frickin'
So,
meet.
does he keep that hair just so he has a place
Yeah,
to put his jokes?
it's
Does he
always
have
nuts,
like a-
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Rad dude.
That guy's
So-
got some awesome
Well,
hair.
do you guys have any more to say about some of these other pet peeves of mine, like subscriptions or distribution?
I
or
wish.
Hasbro trying to pull their fat out
I'm
of the fire by whoring out all their IPs.
I gotta tell you, I saw your little slide there, the G.I. Joe Collector Club. I miss them. I shit on them a lot because I did. I got pretty angry with them a few times on some stuff, but I missed the Collector Club. I really miss what they were doing, especially in my genre, Adventure Team, because they did the best Adventure Team sets.
Yep.
Hands
Yeah,
They
down.
got
after the
lazy at the
fact,
end was
I-
the biggest problem with them, though. Is they
What's
got
that?
lazy.
Yeah.
They got lazy at the end. That was the biggest problem with
Yeah.
the
The
Collector's
last
Club.
2 years, yeah, they just screwed it off. Here you go.
Oh yeah, nice.
There he is.
Nice.
Nice.
Very cool. It's cool as shit.
You know what annoyed me about the Collector Club is they didn't listen to everybody. Like they you send them an email, they just listen to a certain group of people.
Yeah.
That made me really angry.
And yeah,
They
I
made
went
a couple
after the
of changes
fact and
on
dug up
sound.
some of the convention club special editions. Some, like the 8 Legs of Danger, Terror
Yeah.
on the Seafloor. They're awesome.
I got all
and
those.
yet-
Yeah.
They were only available to a select handful who got to the convention and could get it, or if you
Yep.
were part of the club, or it was very limited. But I think it had
Like that
mass
dude?
market appeal.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
That's a great
yeah.
figure.
exactly.
It's a great figure.
They were great.
I
and
appreciated the GI Joe figure subscription service. I do.
They did some things well. Some
Yeah.
things not so much.
Toward the end, they crashed and burned.
Yeah.
And
They felt
there's a
good.
lot of their stuff I wish I
Definitely
had,
don't
but I
want
can't get on the
subscription
secondary
services.
market. but I didn't want everything that they put out. I didn't want to subscribe for half of that stuff.
I'm telling you, if
I want to pick
Hasbro
and
announces
choose
that
what I
your
can get.
subscription service comes back by 2025, don't be shocked.
If it was an a la carte where you could just pick and choose certain things during the year, but they're not going to do that.
No, it won't be, because it'll be it's basically a crowdfund model. That's what it is. It's HasLab for dollies, and they're all about all the reward, none of the risk. That's why the O-rings went to Super 7. That's why the Asian market went to Haya. That's why you see like the page punchers and this and that and the the reaction. But reaction's just reaction. It's like Funko Pops. It's all over here on its own little island. But if they bring back the figure subscription service, no risk for them, just all reward.
They probably still have all the molds too, right?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like some decisions or ideas, I see it. As soon as it was told to me, I was like, yep, that makes sense. Just like saying,
from a business standpoint,
we're
it
not
makes a
doing
lot of sense.
O-ring Joes anymore. And then Super 7 changes their contract in secrecy. And then, Brian Flynn moves up his announcement about them doing O-ring figures, even though it wasn't really a surprise. But he moved it up several weeks because they were trying to get that mothership funded. But we know
Oz kind of swims in a slightly different circle of collectors that is focused on some other areas. Are you seeing these kind of issues and arguments in people who are collecting for Horsemen or other lines that are doing pretty well getting things into the hands of the collectors who want them? Or is it a non sequitur?
You really don't see an issue with, because again, I myself am moving away from the big two. I'm just going into the indies, and I'm really sticking with Four Horsemen because, like, okay, Jacob Marley figure obscura, dropped it, beginning of the month. I had mine later that week. It was done. In stock sale. Done. Got it. No issues whatsoever. Now, the other realm that I dabble in is Masters of the Universe, right? Because that was my big thing for me as a kid. And when it came back, I was all about it. I like their idea of, like earlier we were talking about what's going to be in retail, what's going to be on Mattel Creations, what they're finishing up there, right? A lot of people will complain about Mattel Creations, and I agree. It's got its problems. There's a lot of issues there. But I also have not had a single issue getting anything from Mattel Creations since Mini Comic Triclops and the original first time Wondar. Wondar sold out in like less than 2 minutes. I managed to get 3 of them.
Yeah.
My only experience with Mattel Creations, I bought the remote control, the Batman Batmobile, and I had no issues. I ordered it when it was ready. It came. It's perfect. I love it.
I like Mattel Creations. I like the model. I buy from them all the time.
And I'm going to continue to get what I want because, again, I'm just picking and choosing what I get, right? I'm not getting everything He-Man right now, right? I've already, first off, I wrote off the idea of getting anything that is. Chad, it suddenly changed.
Hi.
Hello. Chad, you look so much better. I don't know what
just
happened.
got way better.
Oz, did you crowdfund Eternia?
What are you guys talking
No,
about?
I had to pass on it. I did not have the funds at the time. I wanted to. I definitely wanted it.
I
It was
think
the
it was
one
a cool
place that I
project.
didn't have as a kid. It was great.
Excited for it.
That was something that deserved to be a crowdfund.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
100%.
That's an epic
Now,
play
when
set,
they-
right?
Right. Now,
I must say to our distinguished guests, we are all very, very jealous that Chad has a 1-to-1 scale Baroness.
right? I think
You're
that's
awesome.
been every guy's dream since we were like 13.
Yeah.
Bjorn said, finally some class.
Right. Yeah.
I'm very classy, okay? I will drink my coffee with my pinky up.
I can't even keep up with this. The chat did blow up with the
Yeah.
You're
It
a
happens.
superstar. There you go.
Everyone loves
adult
the
in
man.
the room. Everyone settled down. Hello, man.
All the bad talk went away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone
Was
just
watching their language.
Everybody's on their best behavior when the man
I
shows
get
up.
P's
I
and
don't know why.
Q's.
Somebody went to go spit.
I had
dollies.
I had COs like the man when I was in the service. You just listen to them. That's all, right?
You respect the authority.
That's a 100%. Yeah, Chad.
I did marry up, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. You don't keep it a secret.
Yeah. Good for you.
What a wonderful surprise. That's great.
Indeed.
Yeah, just a,
Hey.
there.
Look at that.
It's the hat.
Yep.
Chad has to go now.
Yep.
Internet's bad.
Oh no! What happened?
You're breaking
What's
up.
that damn cat doing now? I gotta go.
Well, that totally derailed where we were going, but that's okay.
Yeah, that did.
That did.
Okay, I'm going to segue into something else here. Yeah, this is something more in Jeff's wheelhouse, but you guys may have some thoughts on it. Is 1/6 scale making a comeback in 2024? I say this because of what I saw from Comic-Con for San Diego. They put out a lot of Captain Action stuff, and for those who aren't really familiar with that, it was, the equal to Joe as far as action figures back in the 60s. Action Man did for superhero figures and dollies what Joe did for military and the adventure team later. They're trying to bring it back. And this is not the first time they've announced things. Not only are they bringing back those original characters, they're creating new characters. They're creating a new story. They're bringing back new character costumes. They're doing the Rocketeer. They're doing Mars Attacks.
My concern with Captain Action is that he's been trying to relaunch the Captain Action line since like 2017. And it's never taken foot. I mean, it's just... He's had figures made, he's had stickers, comics, and all that stuff, and it's just never taken off. And is it because people don't know the brand, or they're not into that IP? Well,
or
I think the problem with Captain Action in the 60s, Captain Action had Marvel, DC, Flash Gordon, Lone Ranger, all sorts of different licenses. Now Captain Action has to stick to properties that are in the public domain that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
What's he especially a kid, right? So you'll get a couple nostalgia hits from it, but you won't
even when they had Marvel. The last company that made these guys, I can't remember the name right off the top of my head.
You get that.
They had the Marvel license. They did Spider-Man, Captain America. They did Thor. They were trying to get DC off the line, but Toys R Us went belly up, and they had a deal going through Diamond and Toys R Us. So that kind of killed it. But
the last company that made those figures did a really good job. And the figures that are in the new guys setup are nice looking figures. I've seen them firsthand. He was at a Comic-Con that I went to a couple years ago. They're looking good, but
LBO is the new company that's manufacturing in conjunction with Captain Action Enterprises.
Well,
but it's not just Captain Action.
Who is a channel member, by the way. He said the price for 1/6 got way out of hand, asking Hot Toys prices for lesser quality.
That's true. And that's why I'm gearing more towards the stuff that we used to collect and do collect, either through Cotswold Collectibles or getting them from foreign markets. Action Man saw a re-release last year. May see more issues coming. It's not the same body, but it's the same spirit. It's the same branding. It's a new construction. Guyper Man, we're seeing re-releases of those from where is that? France, Italy?
Yeah, Guyper Man is from France.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but Classicos Falcon is still being made down in South America. It has been forever.
Yeah,
and great sets.
So
there's
still a market for that, and we've seen other IPs, be it Star Wars, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is being made in 1/6. I mentioned that earlier. There's still people who want that taller, bigger scale.
I just got this bad boy from a friend over the weekend.
Oh, very nice. Ooh. That's a project in the making.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Which brings up the other argument of if we could have toys and vehicles for 1/6 scale, why can't they do it in 1/12? Well, certain people are, but that argument doesn't hold water. So you can have big vehicles at retail. It was done. Anyway, what do you guys think about the 1/6 scale coming back? Is it just wishful thinking on my part? Is there a market there?
I think it. I kind of think it is in a way, like being exclusively a 1/6 scale guy myself and doing all the custom stuff that I do and the photo stories. With companies like Cotswold who imports Guyper Man, and then they do their own brand of Elite Force or whatever it's called. Elite Brigade. And then you have a lot of boutique people that supply accessories, like Sean Huckster does an amazing 3D or 3D printed stuff, and then you got Jim Egner does really good 3D printed stuff. I think that's where it's at. I think it's probably where it's going to stay at, unless someone like gets a license for Hasbro to do, say, Adventure Team, which Adventure Team's the marquee G.I. Joe 1/6 scale line. I don't care. You can say what you want about the G.I. Joe classic collection stuff. The Adventure Team is 12-inch G.I. Joe. It's Adventure Team and everything else. You don't.
Well, let me ask this of the guys who are in the 118 and 112 scale genre most of the time. If 1/6 scale came out at the prices that Joe used to be when he was on retail shelves and not hot toy prices, would that interest you?
No.
Yes.
Because it doesn't fit with what you already collect?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
The only stuff that I have that's not 118 scale is Masterpiece Transformers because they scale well with 4-inch shows.
Yeah.
And I have 7 classified figures and a bunch of Action Force, like Valaverse Action Force, in my game room, but I don't intermingle scales. It weirds me out.
Yeah.
Even though
I do it for my display just because of what's on camera, but I segregate my shelves, sir.
Yeah, but I have like a bunch of these dudes just chilling on a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scuba, I know you're into some vintage goodies. Do you have some 1/6 in your bag of tricks?
I do. I've got, some vintage Action Force, or I should say Action Man. Sorry, going backwards.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would pick and choose depending on what was offered. Yeah, I kind of
particular character you like, or just
exactly. Yeah,
whatever.
if it was a character, or
to kind of build on what Chad said. If he's obviously he's not a 1/6 scale guy, and he's not going to get that line. And I'm not really a 1/12. I'll buy a few characters here and there of just things I really like. But if Hasbro, with their 60th anniversary, decided to release some Adventure Team theme stuff, I would probably buy it. Now, I don't have any of the 1/18th Adventure Team stuff from the Collector Club because I like being able to modify my figures. Like I like being able to throw outfits on my guys. I like being able to flock my guys and just customize my stuff.
Flock, yeah.
You flock the hell out of them, Jeff.
I do. But if Hasbro did something, if something that wasn't named Joe Colton, because that can literally kiss my ass. I hate that Joe Colton.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother.
Fucking thing.
If I saw a re-release of Adventure Team Leader, I might be like, I'll get it.
Just to have one. Yeah.
I think you're gonna get them. I don't think you'll ever get Hasbro to do any more 1/6 scale stuff. I think you'll get them to do it in 1/12. I think that's what you'll probably get, like the Action Soldier and Action Sailor. But as far as 1/6 scale goes, I think you're just going to keep seeing it from Cotswold, and it's going to be us guys, my age group, buying it and just doing what we're doing. And I don't think it's going to change. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah.
If Hasbro came out with the 1/6 Joe line right now, it'd be like those superhero figures that
those Titan figures.
Like, Titan figures. And we'd be so disappointed that we'd just pissed off anyway.
That's why 3-0 does the 1/6 scale Real American Hero stuff, because Hasbro doesn't want to mess with it. Yeah, they are nice.
Buzz,
I would love to see
what do you
that
think of the
team.
like the Mondo Master of the Universe stuff? I know it's super crazy expensive, but if it was at a relatively decent price, would you do with the 1/6 T-Man and the Cringer and all that?
I would get the Battle Cat for my wife. I would get that Battle Cat if I could get it at a decent price, just to be like, hey, here's this, because I always buy her Battle Cats. So yeah,
I mean, I don't necessarily like to use the term decent or reasonably priced when talking about those, because it is reasonably priced for what they're giving you.
Yeah.
I don't have the funds to afford that kind of collection.
Yeah. In my frame of reference, I'm thinking decently priced for my wallet, not for what it's,
exactly.
Wallet said nah.
What they're putting out, like you got a Battle Cat and a Panther out there right now with individually articulated toes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking Mattel ain't
Crazy
doing
good.
that shit. It's amazing. It's outstanding. And for the price that it is, it's damn good quality. And I can support that. I can't afford that.
Doesn't the Cringer come with, I mean, it comes with like a miniature Cringer and the Battle Cat, so you can have them. Yeah, it's awesome.
You got
we saw those at PowerCon, right, Oz? Those things were just mind blowing.
Oh my God. Seeing them in person, I wanted to pick it up so bad, but I was afraid to ask.
How much?
I wanted to go pet the flocked one, and then I was going to like put it in a cat carrier and walk out the door with it.
Yeah, it's like if I only collected that one line and I was a super fan,
right,
I would have those. But I've got a diverse
right.
collection.
Even if I stopped collecting everything else, I couldn't afford that, you know?
No.
And especially with the rate that they've increased since Mondo got bought up by Funko, like now they're pumping out. They used to pump out like 1 or 2 a year. Now you're getting like one almost every quarter, and then you're kind of getting like little, I say little things in between, but nothing of that is little, because like the He-Man, and then you had the Battle Cat, and then you had the Skeletor, and then it's almost like one after the other after the other after the other.
Well, that's kind of like the issue Robert was pointing out about Marvel Legends. They put out what, over 130, 140 figures in the last
179 actually.
Wow.
Who's
keeping up with that?
Amazing.
That's absurd.
Yeah, $4,000. That's $4,000.
I don't know anybody.
If you don't count deluxes and everything, it's like that.
Wow,
right?
25. It's like it's ridiculous, and it's like
that's pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've been going about 2 hours, and I know it's getting late in some of your time zones. I'm hopped up on energy drinks. I'm good till Oz usually goes off. So, any parting thoughts? Any stuff you guys want to predict or talk about for the year coming that we didn't touch on?
What's each guy? Let's go. What's each guy excited about for 2024? How about that?
Yeah, let's start with Scuba. He's the most visually appealing.
Visually appealing. I'm sticking with my Robo Skull Mark II. That's what I'm super psyched for. I hope that I can get more of those origins off Mattel's website, like within a reasonable amount of time, that I don't have to be on there, waiting and going and be like, oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
I got friends.
That's my beef with that. But yeah,
I'm always working when they drop. I feel you, but I got a buddy who I can call up and I'll be like, "Hey, I need you to make an order on Mattel Creations because I know you're at home just smoking it."
I'm always like on the interstate, and I'm like, I need an exit.
I thought you were always underwater, Scuba.
Well, yeah, I'm traveling from tank to tank.
He's on the underwater interstate. Come on,
that's right.
Chad, how about you, buddy? What are you thinking for 2024? It's all going to be Super 7 bathtub giant monoliths.
Can play with Super 7 in the bathtub?
No,
you can't.
I'm looking forward to just the independent 1/18 scale lines. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them get in everyone's hands. We've said all their names before, but like the Delta 17s, the call sign longbows, getting the rest of the Strike Force Alpha stuff, Operation Recall, things like that. But also, like, I really want to get my freaking omnibus from 3D Joe's and from Carson. I really want that book. I'm waiting to get that in hand. I'm waiting for the Marauder Nom stuff, everything from Eagle Force, especially my not Red Shadows Monster Force stuff that we all pre-ordered. It feels like 2 years ago. It kind of feels like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to more stuff that I can incorporate into my existing Joe collection that feels right. It looks good. It fits well. That's new characters and new stories. That's really what I want. And then, I'm just always getting more stuff like this.
Nice.
I don't shop at Walmart and Target. I shop at independent mom and pop freaking, collectible stores, and that's what I like.
And you, sir, are a customizer extraordinaire, and I want to see what you do with that Chap May mech because I know it's going to be awesome.
Ooh, yeah, we'll see.
All right.
That's what I'm
Ed, what do you got?
I would say probably the biggest line I'm looking forward to is the Monster Force for next year from Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Very cool.
I'm going to be picking up some of their Eagle Force part of that too, and then probably my Ramen Racer.
I
got the Dukes of Hazzard version coming, and then if I get the bread van, I'll be set up for the 80s
Hell yeah.
beautiful.
He's gonna do V. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be like 25.
What's that, Chad?
He's gonna do V.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna be nice. Oz, what do you got coming in your picnic basket for 2024?
Oh man, so much Legions. I got like a million skeletons gonna get delivered in the next year. Oh yeah. I got a fucking bear coming. That says it right there. I got a rideable fucking bear coming. All right.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what about you, Jeff? What are you looking forward to? You'll probably just build your own customs. You're not even going to buy anything off the shelf.
I'm looking forward to being disappointed in the 60th anniversary G.I. Joe. So I've really prepared myself for that. But I know that Greg at Cotswold, as well as some of the other smaller boutique guys that I do business with, are going to start releasing some stuff for the 60th anniversary. So adventure teams type stuff, 1/6 scale stuff that I'll be excited to get. I'm kind of excited to see. Well, I shit on Super 7 a lot, but I watched their interview with Pixel Dan, and I was a little bit excited to hear them talk about going into different G.I. Joe lore. So I would like to see him actually maybe branch out and do some O-rings of like maybe Super Joe stuff we've never got before.
Yeah.
And other than that, I play it by ear. I just see what's cool, and then I just kind of figure out if I'm gonna buy it. I bought that Red Sonja, which will be the first female action figure I've ever bought in my life.
Nice.
So I look forward to putting her next to my Mezco Conan.
I was going to say,
and they
Jeff,
can
I'm looking forward to seeing Red Sonja on Beer 30. I'd like to see what
you'll get a Red Sonja on Beer 30, probably Brew 30.
Maybe a nice pale ale or something blonde. I don't know.
Did you get the Diamond Select statue, Jeff?
What's that?
Did you get the Diamond Select statue?
I did get the Diamond Select, not Joe Colton statue. I did get that. It's supposed to have flocked hair. It's supposed to come out next year sometime.
Yeah, next year sometime. I got it on pre-order.
It's the Coils of Doom set. That's all.
For sure. That looks awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
I didn't know about the flocking. Robert, I know you're doing a wide variety of goodies. You've got some was it Valor versus Venom in your collection, and just kind of all kinds of cool stuff you come up with, and most of them have hands. You say
most of them have hands. Yeah, it's a good point. For the most part,
let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I have hands. I think for the next year, it's like there's like 10 to 12 Marvel Legends I might buy. Today they dropped a Nightcrawler. It was like, okay, I really want an updated Nightcrawler because I have my Toy Biz Nightcrawler in my display over here. And it's like, I want an updated Nightcrawler. So I'm going to get that. Goblin Queen is a maybe. And it's like, and tomorrow's a live stream. So I'm like, okay, depends on what they have. It's like, but for the most part, it's like, Hasbro, I'm kind of leaning out of. It's like, the comedy trio of Alpine, Bazooka, and Quick Kick I'm committed to, but that's it. And the original Dreadnoks. Love the original.
Right on.
Those are cool.
Is there a good 1/18th scale motorcycle to put with your Dreadnoks that you found third party or otherwise?
No, in the Walmart aisle, there's those Maisto and then the Harley Davidson ones. They work well.
Yeah, the Maisto work okay with the 1/18th scale.
Like $5.
They're
awesome.
I have a bunch of them, and I have them with my Dreadnought, so it works.
Nice.
For the most part, I want to like go a little bit backwards and like fill in my 50th anniversary collection and the 25th anniversary collection of G.I. Joe, because there's some gaps there. Like I have a couple of those that have a gaps.
They're nice.
And I'm trying to think here really quick. I'm really interested in some of the new 1/18 scale military lines, and that I'm excited for. Savage Crucible, I'm a little excited for because I have Legendary Heroes Conan over here in the Avengers shelf, and love that figure. Love that figure so much.
Figure back in the day, I like that one.
Yeah, no, he's a great figure, and it's like I want to get that Red Sonja. That's one that's like, I need to have that to match up with Conan. And it's like, and then you inspired me a little bit. It's like, you'd have that adventure team kit bashing and upscaling, and I'm like, oh God, like I remember those from when I was a kid, and it's like,
it's a bad rabbit hole.
Don't do it.
I want to have like
everybody needs an ape in their life.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the ape I need to get the cyber there's a cyborg ape I need to get, and like it's like then I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with Avenger Team? I want a jungle dude, I want a Arctic dude, and I want
do
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will do it. No, I will. I will.
I started out just going for one, and you can see my shelf. I'm out of shelf space already. 160.
Yeah,
I
and
tried to warn you, Jim. I tried to warn
you. I know.
And I'm
I
loving
know
Valiver.
Will is an enabler. He's definitely pushing me more towards 118 scale dollies, and I gotta say,
Will pushed me to Ousted versus Beta. Yeah, that's a cool line, and it's like, and I love Valiverse. I love Spiro. I love what they're doing. Going to keep with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I need to win the lottery.
And then share it.
Or just not eat.
Will,
Will,
it's your turn, because we could go forever, but I know some of these guys need to go night.
Hey, O-rings are my jam, and it's a great year to be an O-ring collector because you got so many great things coming out, and I'm really looking forward to them. Strike Force Alpha, Delta 17 is by far the standout amongst all of those so far for me. I'm really looking forward to getting those in. And just furthermore, what I would love to see in 2024 is a 3 3/4 inch modern construction, because look at this guy. I got him at Walmart. He's a Fortnite figure. This is Sergeant Winter. He was $9.99.
Oh, that's a great figure.
Fortnite put this guy out for $9.99, and he's got
some pretty cool
tons
stuff.
of articulation.
This is the best Fortnite freaking army builder there is.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So
Fortnite is doing really good stuff.
It's
I
really
have
for
dozens
me,
of this guy.
They're
That's
impressive.
cool looking.
And the
what I
articulation.
like the most about these O-ring lines coming out is that they're new. And that's what I really look forward to in 2024 is just new stuff. The Chat Bay Acid versus Beta. That's a new line. It's got vehicles. It's got a spider cannon, the spider tank. That thing looks badass. I can't wait till that comes out. So,
and because they spelled it spider,
stuff.
It's gangsta.
Come on. That's awesome. Such a great name.
And it's unfitting.
I would love to see a 3 3/4 inch fantasy line. And, that's like the only thing missing. We've got military. We've got, sci-fi. We've got, good figures in all those genres, but we don't have a good fantasy 118 scale line. And if they could come out with something, I'd be all over that. But, for me, it's discovering new things in 2024. I want my imagination to be tickled. I want to see new things. I want to explore new things, and not just keep buying the same old crap I've been buying for the last 30 years.
Amen.
Right on, man.
And it bears repeating, kids, that once you get past 40, you need to get that O-ring checked by a doctor at least once a year.
That's right.
For real.
I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff in 2024. I have eclectic collection going nowadays. It's all over the place in 3 different scales. So my wallet is spread paper thin. But I definitely want to say thank you guys. I really love hanging with each and every one of you. You're all fun.
This is fun.
Even even Wilhelm, Man, it's always a good time hanging with you guys, and having some fun, poking some fun at some things that we are all wanting to vent about in the distribution and whatnot. But thanks for hanging with us tonight. Thanks for taking the time to goof off with us. In the coming year, we'll maybe do some more stuff like this. Will and I.
Largo, one thing though, in the next stream, it would be really great if Chad could just open up a little bit and not just, keep his feelings to himself. I would prefer he express himself a little more. Yeah,
he's been in his shell this whole time.
Wow.
He's completely different when he's on his show.
He's trying to adjust to the new community that he's in.
You don't have to take it. There's counseling available. I'm just saying.
Look, I will give both barrels.
You are the
wherever I
community
show up.
chairperson.
Did you guys ever see the time I was on What's on Joe Mind and Mike was like, "Hey, like, what are you looking for in classified?" I was like, "I think it all sucks." Anything? He was like, "What?" I was like, "It's all shit. It all needs to go away." I'm like, "It's Marvel Legends dressed like G.I. Joe," and they were like, "Okay." And
They're like,
I've never been back.
I love it. You know what? Fuck.
Sounds like they didn't research their guest.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, what
Right.
would you do if you were in charge at Hasbro?" I'd be like, "I'd shit can classified."
Fucking kids.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, "Okay, moving on."
All right,
little
guys.
more
You're all
trouble.
rad, and this is all first world
Yes.
problem, right?
Yes.
I may
more
not see some of you
cowbell.
guys
Oh, Lord.
until after the holiday chaos. God
Yeah.
forbid.
Anyone got anything coming up or going on that you want to promote or talk about?
Plug.
Saturday
I'm
Night
gonna have
Clubhouse.
I'm gonna have Ryan
Yep.
on Sunday.
Cool.
Okay.
And then next
Oh.
Wednesday, I'm gonna have Michael from Toy Habits. And Jeff, I'm working on getting Brian Flynn on my channel so I can hot seat him.
Sweet.
Thank
I like it.
Just waiting on a reply.
I like that. I got Adam and from G.I. Joe Lost Chronicles and I are going to be on Friday night doing a little follow up to our little collaboration that we did. Just
Yeah.
we shooting the shit, probably talking about
Jeff,
customs.
those two videos were amazing.
Thanks,
if you guys
man.
haven't
We
checked
really-
out videos Jeff and Adam, you guys got.
We
check
had a
them
good
out.
time doing them. We really had a
Yeah,
lot
they're
of fun.
so much fun. Even if you're not a 1/6 collector, they're just a fun. If you like stories, if you like adventure,
Yeah.
If you like
you're
Kiss,
over the age of what 12, you'll love it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
had a
no,
lot
I
of
think
fun doing it.
Yeah, any kids would like it too. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
said
we've already started planning our one for next year, so it's pretty
Okay.
rad.
that. Awesome.
I love the collaborations. I love the storytelling. You guys are doing a good job. Since
We're
I
nerds.
probably won't see some of you guys until after the holidays, I would like to end us up with the same little PSA that we did for Turkey Day. Just reminding people, use your coping skills, get through those holiday blues, because God knows some of us face the holidays with some challenges, whether they be in the form of relatives, in-laws, outlaws, whatever. So thanks, everyone. We will catch you on your individual perspective and
Thank you.
respective channels. You're all awesome.
Thanks, guys.
And
Merry Christmas,
Chad,
Happy
you
New Year's,
wanna
guys.
give us a
Yeah.
have
Merry
an awesome
Christmas.
day?
Happy New Year's.
'Cause nobody says it like you do.
Sure.
Keep
Happy
kicking ass.
holidays and have an awesome day.
There we go.